Better. Ninu? Ninu, you can take the Nina Foundation logo the other side also. You can just, no, it will be mirrored, is it? OP is a blessing. Say hi to her. So pretty, no?
Hi. Hello.
And very efficient too.
Thank you.
Hi, OP.
Hello. Hi.
Taral and Dr. Kopkar, is it 4? Someone needs to call them up. We are ready to roll at 4. There's no sound, OP. The music. It's okay. Just test whether our voice is going on YouTube.
Yeah, it's coming.
You speak something and you test it, please. We are ready to roll. It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we can.
Start, Ninu.
Good evening and a warm welcome to our eminent speakers and all of you watching us to Nina Foundation's webinar on 3rd Injury Prevention Week 2023. Nina Foundation had collaborated for Injury Prevention Week in India, which is commemorated from the 1st to the 7th September every year, organized under the aegis of Director General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Now, in its 8th year since inception, This day has been commemorated across the globe since it was first proposed on 5th September 2016. The theme for the year 2023 is Access to SCI Services, a life less complicated. Access to spinal cord injury services is critical for individuals with SCI and their families. However, access to these services can be complicated due to various factors, such as lack of available resources, geographic location, financial constraints, and lack of knowledge about the services which are available. This can lead to a life that is unnecessarily complicated, adding more challenges to an already difficult situation. I'm sure you agree with us. National days or week are celebrated to mark important aspects of human life and history. Programs are organized during this week with the intention of increasing awareness and training protocols for preventing injuries amongst the general public. Nina Foundation has been actively involved in promoting injury prevention. We thank Dr. Chabra and his team at Sri Balaji Action Medical Institute who pushed this agenda with Director General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. We at Nina Foundation are fortunate and privileged to be part of this awareness program and do it in Mumbai through this webinar. And I'm glad that all of you are with us to show your support for this prevention, rehabilitation, program. So, without further delay, please join me as I welcome our first speaker of the panel, Professor Dr. Ketna Mehta, who we fondly call Ketna D. And may I, Andrila, request you for the intro slide, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you're able to view?
Yes. Dr. Ketna, as we all know, most of us know, is the founder trustee Nina Foundation, an NGO for rehabilitating friends with spinal cord injuries. She has a lot of accolades, awards, recognitions to her credit. A few among them is she is the Spine 20 Scientific Task Force member, observer, speaker, and publication member. She has authored a coffee table book, Narratives of Courage, Lives of Spinal Cord Injury Survivors in India in 2022. She's been the editor of One World publication, which is on SCI rehabilitation since 2001. And we have really been receiving the copies and have been updated from, month on month, time again. And there's so much of information that she has been curating and bringing it us to our table. So thank you, Ketna, for that effort. She's been the regional consultant for WHO's first and only research so far, which is IPSCI International Perspectives on SCI. She's an honorary guest editor since December 2019, designed for all, or rather, in the year December 2019, designed for all Institute of India, theme being quality of life of living with spinal cord injury in India, rehabilitation design, challenges and solutions. She's also been an honorary guest editor for Success and Ability, first ever special publication on spinal cord injury, which was in 2012. She's an author, professor, researcher, thought leader on disability solutions, inspirational speaker, conscious keeper, and management curator. She's also been a recipient of prestigious NCPEBT, Helen Keller Award, and Money Life Women Achiever Award. So these are just a few, friends. There are many more. She wears many hats. She's a juggler and a think out of the box person and a go-to person for all of us. So here is Ketna Di for you. So please give her a big round of applause.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Nina Foundation, welcome our team here, Dr. Taral Nagra. Thank you so much for, he's busy the whole week as a pediatric orthopedic surgeon. On a Sunday, we have pulled him out. So we are truly indeed grateful. The rest of the team for 23 years are extremely used to working day and night. And slowly we're trying to pull you into this. Thank you so much, everyone. And immense gratitude to Dr. Chabra for not only being a Nina Foundation's mentor, but trusting us with everything that he pushes the needle for the spinal cord injury rehab cause, and we sail through. So today is a very special injury prevention week, and this injury prevention week is about post-spinal cord injury. What prevention that we need to do, and even beforehand, this webinar is going out to all the stakeholders, those who are there right now currently watching us on YouTube live, and also later on when this YouTube link will be bombarded to everyone, and किश्तों में आप सब देख सकते हो, right? So you need not sit for 2 hours at a stretch, but really request you to go through this. So because it is Nina Foundation, and because we are doing injury prevention, and because we are all spinal cord injury survivors, you may wonder why we are so passionate about this cause for 23 years. The reason is my sister, my elder sister, Dr. Neena Doshi, a homeopath doctor. When I was down and out in the first week in the Hinduja hospital after a paragliding accident, having had an emergency, travel and surgery and everything, she, in her quiet tone, told me only one thing. And that seed continues till today. And that was a belief in the abilities that I had. Nobody maybe still sees it, but she saw it. And I'm so grateful to her about my abilities, and that I will not rest, because she knew it, being a homeopath doctor, that I had an altruistic gene in me. I don't know whether the medical fraternity believes in that, but she believed that I had this generous heart, and that whatever I learned, I would share. Whatever I do, I would share. And we never knew that 5 years into my spinal cord injury, and still on the road to rehab in this very city of Mumbai, she would transcend and go from our planet Earth and maybe to the universe. And till date, if without an office, if without a rehab center, if without a fixed place, we have, with our team, with each one of us being so passionate about it, have been able to just drive her dream forward. I always believe that this is something supernatural, because humanly, this is not possible to run and drive a human-centric Nina Foundation. We are a place without walls, but hearts so huge that it's only the hearts And each one of us have been, what do I call it? Each one of you have been, no, I don't want to use a negative word here. Each one of you carry that with you and take it forward. So truly grateful for all that we've done. I don't want to talk about what all, but I would also like to mention about the divinity that I found in my rehab team. And Dr. Jacob, while giving rehabilitation, mentioned that Ketna, nobody is interested in spinal cord injury. This was way back in 1995. And my brain had to start thinking, everything that we do is about generating interest about spinal cord injury and making everyone passionate about this. Yes, it's a very uphill task, but whatever we've done, and we truly, and let's thump our hearts and thump our back and pat our back, whatever we've done, it has always been impossible. And I see Anu smiling out there and she knows it. Sitting here on my bed here and I giving this outlandish dreams, and we all made it happen together. So this is a belief, and all those out there in the regular life, we have 100% disability, we have 80% disability, and yet we have been able to move mountains. So think really deeply what we with 100% abilities can do by getting on to this movement, wherever we touch your hearts, your minds, your souls, and going about this. Because believe me, this is the universe which has made it happen. Whether it was the first spinal cord injury camp in a management institute, inconceivable, by having a team out there. 29 specialists under one roof in one day, 25 SCIs, Kashmir to Chennai. Whether it has been our dream to start a spinal cord injury awareness day, and in 2009, making it happen when the newspaper said and the news channel said it is going to be the highest monsoon day in Mumbai. And we actually had water flowing below our feet, and we did it with more than 700 who's who of Mumbai coming into the rooftop in that college. Whether it has been having a helpline, the first helpline in the country, whether it is having the first support group in a country, whether it is having a management outbound program, whether it has been having a marathon, and believe me, this is going to be the 17th year, and we welcome all of you all who are not yet tired to join us. Bhavna has with 100% disability, with her parents, spearheading this. And if you think that it's okay to relax on a Sunday while we work, I think somewhere you should feel a little bit concerned. Okay, let me just get on by thanking everyone who has been part of the journey, our board of trustees, our supporters, our passionate buddies, because it's not humanly possible, as I told you. And continue doing that, because we are making a difference together. Nina's with us. Until she is us, her blessings is with us. We just need to trust ourselves, right? We just need to trust ourselves. May I now just get on without telling much more to a PPT that we have on behalf of everyone prepared, and share sound, optimize, share. and come to my PPT. Can you see it, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And OP has guided me what to do, right? So I click on slideshow. Can you see me as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So Nina Foundation's grassroots experiences of gaps and challenges in spinal cord injury with regards to healthcare services. We started 23 years ago, sharing our wisdom, sharing our solutions, sharing everything with everyone. And my very good friend Razia mentioned that, why don't we focus only on the ones who have nothing? And this is a labor of love that we started in 2020. Sitting at home, we were the busiest team ever, and everyone that you find here today has been part of this ebook and our narratives of courage, and 28 people with spinal cord injury in urban poor and rural areas have been part of this. And all those who want to know of how people live, fight, and smile, you could know about, or each and every ebook space is available. Whether it's it's on Kindle, Overdrive, Scribed, Kobo, Barnes and Noble, everywhere. So what we present here today is thanks to, as we said, Dr. Chabra, who is from Shri Balaji Action Medical Institute, his own NGO, Spine Wellness and Care Foundation, doing a lot of work on prevention. In fact, he has been responsible for getting the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to initiate this national movement. And the Indian Orthopedic Association, Association of Spine Surgeons of India, the Spinal Foundation, and so many others. Spinal cord injury is the most devastating, permanent, incurable, lifelong disability on this planet, as per World Health Organization. It's the most devastating disability. It can happen to anyone, anywhere, and these are the faces of our narratives of courage, right from a 12-year-old Tanmay to Ramdas Bhav, to Ramesh Guge, to everyone. Farmers, like you can see Haribao Ade living in a place with a tin roof, and just with the support of their family and the support of the Nina Foundation team to enable them. This can happen, spinal cord injury happens to anyone, anywhere, anytime. 80% are because of road traffic accidents in our country. And I, with great deal of confidence, will tell you post my PhD that India is the capital of road traffic accidents. We have been fortunate to do a lot of work around that, thanks to several organizations on prevention. And natural disasters, fall from a tree, from a terrace, work injuries, when one is working and the load falls on the head, sports injuries, violence, bomb blast, bullet wounds. And we are also seeing in our country a very high incidence of TB and cancer of the spine, which leads to a spinal cord injury. The biggest is road traffic accident. And this is what we have been canvassing and talking about for so many years about having a spinal board or a scoop stretcher. And as I told you, God has been very kind. Nina has made it happen. We get to know about a rehab conference and we are made the NGO partner, and we demonstrate with Dr. Dhruv Mehta and our entire team, and we write a pledge thanks to Hemubai who helps us with that because he's done and Dr. Pradhan, who in the very first spinal cord injury awareness day came all the way from UK, our trustee, and demonstrated how, because evacuation and all this is taught to orthopedic doctors in the UK. It's part of the NHS service. And this is what we've been canvassing. Anyone wants to know more about it, you can visit our website, and the entire last year's and the previous year's use of the scoop stretcher after a road traffic victim is on the street can be known. Even if someone is doing trekking and falls, a spinal board is necessary. Even if there is a sports field in a school or college, a spinal board is necessary. So, one aspect is a prevention and the other aspect is rehabilitation. And what is rehabilitation? Well, rehabilitation is something none of us have a comprehensive physical, psychological, vocational, social, recreational, spiritual, 6 levels of comprehensive rehabilitation. And this is lifelong because things change as we age, and all the world-class rehab centers worldwide continue doing this. But what do we have in India? Yes, we are very proud about Chandrayaan reaching the moon, but we would very much like the government and the fraternity to know about that. To have a human centric approach, we need to sensitize everyone that rehabilitation is important. And we believe that except for a few NGOs who have started their own, and then you have a few centers in Delhi and one center in South, there are no comprehensive rehab centers. And our team will also talk about all this. So, having again had the privilege of being part of G20 Spine 20 and having a global team of professors, researchers, orthopedic doctors, rehab specialists, this is what we talk about. WHO recently in May launched that rehabilitation has got to be out there, and this is all available on their website. And for your kind requirement, so that you don't have to visit and search, we are putting it out here. This is specifically for spinal cord injury, everything that you need to know. Anyone who has a background of understanding English can make this happen. And we are right now putting it out in one slide. We need not be 80% disabled and 100% disabled to just do this, rehabilitation. We want to plant the seed in all of you. These programs have been designed by WHO to be cost-effective and readily implementable and adaptable to India's healthcare system. So what's your excuse? And let me show you this film about rehabilitation that WHO has recently put up.
Rehabilitation. It restores the ability to move,
Gopi,
think,
how do I
see,
close
and
this?
communicate. In the
Ma'am, you
21st
have to
century,
click on the red
health systems
button
are
on the
Yes,
confronted
top
with
thank
new
you.
challenges. With global
Oh, I
aging
forgot
populations
to
and an increased
mute
number
that.
of people with
How do
chronic
I go back?
conditions, more people are living with disability than ever before.
How do
For
I
health
go?
systems, this means a shift in services that don't just reduce mortality, but improve functioning and quality of life. And this is what rehabilitation is all about.
Can you
As
become the
countries
host
develop
and
and
close
health
that?
services improve,
Ma'am,
rehabilitation
open
is
your
needed to
laptop.
make sure people
give
get
me a
the
minute.
best possible outcome.
You can just stop share and reshare.
Anyone? How do I get that YouTube screen back? Taral, how do I get that screen back to close the YouTube?
Right. No, so you stop sharing first from your room. Stop sharing, open that screen again, and then start sharing the screen. There's a green button called share screen. No? And stop sharing. Jitna, are you able to get that? Go on to the Zoom and stop sharing.
Rehab grant that we had in Rwanda several years ago. She's currently a member of the PT steering committee and is involved in some virtual
Yes.
volunteering
Yeah, you
activities.
can close PowerPoint.
With, HVO
Okay.
in Peru and Guatemala.
Close the
She
PowerPoint
served as an
Yeah.
independent consultant to the World Health
or minimize it.
Organization and the Pan American Health
Yeah.
Organization.
So
I
now
closed it.
where she worked on strengthening
Now
the
go to
rehab
stop sharing
sector in health
on the Zoom.
systems. She
Yes.
also with World Physiotherapy.
It's still speaking.
Physiotherapy.
YouTube is
Yeah,
still
you can stop.
She
Yeah.
is
So you
an
can
associate
go to
faculty
your
member
Chrome
of International Health
Huh?
at Johns Hopkins.
and
School
then
of
go to
Public
YouTube and stop.
And with that,
Okay.
Are you able to see that?
and I
I
turn
have
the
to go
meeting
to
over
YouTube, right?
Hi there.
1 minute.
I hope you can see me okay. I'm still seeing Nate.
So is this playing on your laptop? You know?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
playing on
Yep.
my laptop.
Hello.
Yeah.
Great.
So you go
Wonderful.
to
So I'm happy to be here
your
to
Chrome.
talk to you
Huh?
about
Go to
Rehabilitation
Chrome. In
2030,
the YouTube must be playing in Chrome somewhere.
which is
Yeah,
WHO's
okay.
initiative
Stop.
for strengthening
Yeah.
Are
rehabilitation
you
systems.
now? You want to show
And I'm
this on
going
the
to
Zoom?
go ahead and share my
No, I
screen.
don't want to show the Zoom.
So you can stop that. Yeah, you can stop Chrome.
I close Chrome.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Okay.
all right. So we're going to talk about WHO's rehabilitation.
I actually quit
2030.
Safari.
And I want
Safari. Yeah, you're on
I
Apple.
quit Safari,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
it's still
Okay.
going on.
No, but we can't see that now, or we cannot hear it. So
Oh,
that's
you
okay.
can't hear it?
No, no, we can't.
Everyone is muted?
No, no, no. So we can't. We can hear you, but we can't hear that YouTube
All right.
sound now.
Great, great.
So now
Thank you
what do you
so
want? You
much.
want to go back to the PowerPoint now?
No, yeah, I'm back. Can you see me?
You can. We can see you. Yes.
And is anyone else speaking? So I'm sure the YouTube video is off.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. God bless you. Thanks, Taral. I knew you would solve it. You have to solve many other issues also. Like a world-class rehab center in Mumbai.
Yeah. I have some good news. So let's talk about when my talk
Great,
comes.
great. I knew you would give us some good news. So we are out here and you can see me as well.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, my apologies for taking you to WHO, Geneva. but we are back again to Amchi, Mumbai. And these are the gaps in rehabilitation. Why should the world know about spinal cord injury? None of the friends that you see us here, we had a regular life. We were running, walking, working, eating, sleeping, enjoying with the families, going out for movies. And in a lifetime, we just had maybe just a fever, nothing more than a fever. And then suddenly, because of a fall at different age, Madhu was only 2 years old. You know, suddenly this happens out of the blue. So it is sudden. And then your family and yourself are put into a place where suddenly you realize that every time we self-catheterize, it costs us maybe 500 rupees a month. That every time we need to go out for doing a test, it costs us so much. The transportation itself is a huge thing. For someone who has a quadriplegia, neck down, one needs a caretaker and attendant even to make us eat or drink water, to squat a fly which is sitting on our noses. And this is the article that a very dear friend wrote for Design for All after doing a study, Chirag. And he actually has put it down in real terms in current context. And on top of that, 99% of us are denied insurance. Oh, so none of the insurance companies, despite IRDAI having a policy that we are equal rights. What human equal rights? We are not granted insurance. You know the pension? Pan-India, across cities and states, it differs. So it starts with the measly 200 rupees for a person with disability. And in Amchi, Maharashtra, it is 1,000 rupees. People don't even get into employment because they're still managing their rehabilitation. I was amazed when we do an immersive communication with all our spinal cord injured, and there have been 3,000 of them pan-India, and we've lost count. We no longer retain because we just want to get them going. There are alcohol stores. There are alcohol stores in each and every remote part of our villages, but there are no shops for commode chairs. Nobody knows what is a commode chair. Cushions or catheters or urine bags. We send it from Mumbai. Online, a lot of people, so some smart youngster will say the Generation Z who are over smart that, oh, you can always order it online. Amazon is everywhere. Well, you need to have money, your parents' money to buy things, to buy it online. And there are so many things. You go for an X-ray, you go for CT scan, you go to a gynecologist. Women have regular periods, and you need to go to for your gynecologist. We forget that we need to go to a dentist, and none of the dentists are disabled friendly. None of the most, I should say, if they exist anywhere in India. We had Komal trying to go for a mammography, and there was not a single place in Delhi which was wheelchair accessible, and except for one. And that also thanks to Dr. Mrs. Chabra. We have rocket launchers for RAMs, and Indian architects love the term elevation. and nobody pays for it. If someone like Mohammed Soni falls off that steep ramp, we have to build it ourselves. And then when we have the fighting spirit and with 100% disability, when we go for a disability certificate, the government organizations who give us the sanction believe that you can't drive a car. And so we rebel and people do drive. And we forget that all of us who are spinal cord injury survivors and present here today work hard and are taxpayers. We struggle and vote in the elections. We'll do a rethink this elections and put up our, we shall negotiate. You do it and then we come. Why should 1.5 million people make the effort to go just because you lay the red carpet for the elections and then forget about us? And we all have participated in vaccines because you did doorstep vaccination. This is the mother slide that I want to talk about. And as we said, as we do more and more work, we realize that there are so many gaps, and this is the biggest gap. And first time we are going public after the Spine 20 to say what happens when an episode happens. Each one of us, what happened? We go to a doctor. We go to a hospital. Whether the person is in the remote part of our village, yet the family member will put them together. The Good Samaritans will put them together and take them to a doctor. The doctor will say, take them to the nearest hospital in Aurangabad because you are thousands of miles away in that remote village. And this is the first point of
Edna?
contact. Yes.
Sorry, your PPT is not being seen. You have not shared again.
Okay. Since when you're not able to see this?
From the time you stopped it.
Okay. Thank you. Now, do I...
Share screen.
Huh?
Share screen again.
Share.
Yeah. So, I should see that thumbnail, right? Okay. Now you can see it? Can
Yeah,
you see?
consumer
Yes.
perspective for spinal cord injury. Gaps and challenges.
Can you see this? This is the slide I'm talking about.
Hospital
Yes.
doctors and surgeons.
Yeah. Let me just share with you the previous slides. This was a cost of living slide. Can you see me and this together?
Yes, yes.
Thanks,
Yes.
Sunita, for giving me a heads up. Can you see this? What I spoke about? Can you see this? That we go to, that we have teeth. So we have to go to the dentist. We have a uterus. So we have been to the second floor being carted by your brother and somebody else up the stairs to do a sonography. And we are taxpayers despite not even 1% of equality that we experience in our wonderful, meant to be the third superpower very soon as per our Prime Minister. But in terms of Human Development Index for spinal cord injury, we are neither. We are in the negative. This is a slide that I would like all of you to see. Can you see it fully? Can you see the whole thing?
Yes,
Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
Kirtan.
now it's visible.
Oh, thanks, Uday. Nice to hear your voice on a Sunday afternoon. So this is what I thought about, because we are all getting old, we are all getting tired, and we said if 80 people like us who are spinal cord injury survivors and can run an organization and put in the fighting spirit in so many friends with spinal cord injury, why not? What happens as soon as, and believe me, We have a wonderful team of enough and plenty spinal cord injuries, spinal cord, spine surgeons, neurosurgeons, and orthopedic surgeons. They are the ones who will operate on the spine when they realize that there is a spinal cord injury. So this is the first contact. And can we do this? Can all the orthopedic surgeons, Association of Spine Surgeons of India, the neurosurgeon associations do this? Go beyond fixing our spine so wonderfully that we are, like we are good to go lifelong. We want you to do this. We want you to spend some time sitting with the family and the spinal cord injured whom you have fixed before you send them out. And 100% of them are all operated upon, right? So before you send them out, if we are saying to live a good quality of life, we need rehabilitation. We want you to have on your panel a social worker who will visit their villages and tell them about your homes and what needs to be done. We want you to do psychological counseling so they don't become depressed. Rajeshri will talk more about what is the reality, and we are not speaking out of context here. Give them medical information. We have FAQs thanks to Major Aluwalia, who has written the FAQs in English and Hindi, and our own Meena Foundation has made our own Manini, who is a quadriplegic, to translate it in Marathi. Connect them to a peer mentor, because peer mentors can transform lives. The same fighting spirit can be put into them. And Pan India, the Spinal Foundation has so many peer mentors. Connect them in their state. So when we have someone from Jaipur, connect them there. When we have more from, we get lots from West Bengal and Orissa, connect them there. When we have someone from Hyderabad, remote parts of Kerala, Goa, connect them. Talk to them about finance schemes for initial high expenses. There is this Arogya Yojana, and if you can, just ask the family member which ration card you have. If they say orange, if they say yellow, believe me, they don't have money. They are selling their property, they're selling their jewelry, they're selling their farms to do this surgery and paying, because they don't know. They don't know that they are not going to walk and run like before unless they invest in rehabilitation. Tell them that there is this thing, and even the surgery can be covered by Ayushman scheme by the government of India, which is there. Because it's impossible. So many schemes, so complex. Even I, being educated, don't know about it, because it will take me a lifetime to read all that. Talk to them about list of rehabilitation centers, the cost, and tell them how you can just go, instead of going home and getting depressed, you can go there. And give them these FAQs in different languages. We want, this is my management knowledge, which tells me that this is, we tell in management terms, the moments of truth. Who is in touch with the SEI the very first time? I can only think of them. Besides the Good Samaritans who helped us out of that major accident or fall. Can we do this? Is it too much? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because all of you are wonderful human beings and mean a lot to us. We are deprived. today's webinar is about 99% of SCI survivors are deprived of access to comprehensive, holistic rehab finance. Nobody has money for anything. They don't have information. Like Nino said, our One World has been a game changer. And we've been doing this for so many years, since 2001. Complications, oh my God, if you just read the editorial that I've written, there are 1,001 things that can happen post spinal cord injury, and these are just a few of them. Urinary tract infection, bed sores, red bile, rat bites. And my latest article, which was published in Times of India, talks about the parts that can get affected. UDID. We are labeled under locomotor disability. Not good, not fair. We have paraplegia and quadriplegia, and we have much more because the bladders don't work, our bowels don't work, our skin are not normal. For quadriplegics, the breathing is an issue. So many. And all these are there. No access to assistive technology. No one knows in our country what is a commode chair. And this is what Nina Foundation has innovated and has been fighting. Point number 12, disability is featured on the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. It's not a social welfare, but a health issue. And we must have it as a separate disability. We must have a registry. All of us together can work towards that. In the rural areas, the armed forces have managed to have the rehab centers, and they've been able to do this, but not later. This is what the spinal cord injury survivors community pan-India is talking about. It is there on a YouTube channel, and we want, and we strongly believe, whichever languages we speak, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, English, Tamil, we want the Government of India to urgently add spinal cord injury in our Rights of Persons with Disability Act as the 22nd disability, and make us, if WHO is saying that we are the most devastating disability, and we are 1.5 million, multiple sclerosis are only 2 lakhs. Muscular dystrophy is lesser. Rare diseases is much lesser, and they've been able to do it. What stops us to have spinal cord injury as a separate disability? And this is a negotiation. All of us go to vote only if you make this happen before the next year's election. And we are proud that this is our one earth, this is our one family, and we all have a common future. And unfortunately, we have only one spine. This is the spine which controls everything. And what importance are we giving this to spine? Whether I'm talking right now, whether I'm using my eyes, whether I'm using my fingers and my hands, everything is controlled by the spine. And a spinal cord injury, the most devastating disability on this planet, is not recognized. Wake up call. Thank you so much. And now I would like our team, sorry I took so much time, one after the other to speak about the movement that we have, Project Nirman, where we have moved mountains. And whether it is a physical, or virtual, or rural, or home-based, we've done it across with a very small team. And we will have our first OPD in charge, Mrs. Anupama Ganesh, followed by Rajeshri Patil, our peer mentor and rural head, sitting in this small village called Chamak, located in your Google Maps, where this thing is. And sitting there, she has transformed so many lives. Proud of the abilities that we have. We have a Yusuf Bhai who, despite having his own wife and living in a place called Dharavi, has the heart to go where no human being dares and changing their lives. Smile, Yusuf Bhai. For us, you are a rock star. We have a Bhavna Chheda. Oh, sorry, after Rajeshri, Bhavna comes on. Bhavna, you come on and talking about first time we will share what we have never shared before. I think it's high time. And then we have Yusuf Bhai and Madhu dear, who has been part of our AIWC community center. So we start with Anu and with Madhu, ending it, bringing it all together. So thank you. And you don't hear me anymore today.
Thank you, Ketna. Hello, everyone. As you know, we have been at Nina Foundation. We've been working without walls, like Ketna said, from her bed and, wherever we are. And we have helped our friends with spinal injury through their rehab journey in whatever way we could. And there were a lot of things that we learned, and a lot of gaps, a lot of issues were identified. And one of the initiatives that we started at Nina Foundation to, take care of these issues was Project Nirman. We launched Project Nirman in 2014 on 5th of March, and it was huge thanks to AIWC past president, Mrs. Nivedita Sheth, who, gifted us the usage of her community center every Wednesday, 2 to 4, free of cost, totally. And that small community center transformed lives. It was actually, a lot of people doing small things and everything falling in place. And it was awesome when it all happened. So, so the idea behind this OPD, this is a very one of its kind OPD that we have here. It's a physical OPD, yes. Till then we were operating without any physical space, but this was the first time that we had a physical space where we could help. And what we had was an ACE multidisciplinary team, okay, in one place, meeting one SCI and their family, okay, because you see, when a person faces medical issues or any other issues, okay, the family members have to take leave. They have to take them to the doctor will refer to another doctor, and there are multiple visits and multiple places that they need to go, multiple days. Not every time they can take a leave, and a lot of times they did not have access to the specialists. Our rural friends especially, they did not have access to the kind of medical aid that they needed. So we decided to have this OPD where the SCI and their family come for just one visit. Okay, and in that one visit, they meet a team, a multidisciplinary team, which consisted of a spine surgeon or a doctor, orthopedic, a urologist, okay, because, UTIs and all, a physiotherapist, a homeopath, a peer mentor, a medical social worker, a rehab counselor, a family counselor, an orthotist. So you see, everything we try to address everything. If a patient, if a SCI needed a gynac, a female friend, they had gynac issues, we could arrange that. And the entire team gave solutions, and the SCI went home with solutions, with ideas, with what to do. And not just our friend with spinal cord injury, but the family. The family was clueless. They did not know how to take care of this loved one who was suffering. They were suffering because they were the primary caregivers. They did not know how to take care of themselves. And a lot of things like government schemes, like Kitna said, a lot of schemes are available, but they're not aware of them. They're not aware of small modifications that they could do at home to make life easier. And the peer mentors, they were the gold, because watching another friend with spinal injury leading an independent life, they got hope, and they were hopeful that, yes, I can do this. Just looking at them, they were motivated. 100 plus patients from urban as well as rural areas. Okay, they came to our OPD and they were motivated, they were guided. The kind of guidance that they have received, including the family, and they could discuss their issues with the peer mentors. They could get solutions instantly. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I handle this particular aspect of my life now? And they could, guide them immediately. And the kind of impact that these things have had on patients was immense. They came to the OPD wondering what exactly they're in for, and they always left with smiles on their faces. Huge, big smiles. And they were like so motivated. Yes, I will take care of this. I will do this. I will get involved. And this was the change that we wanted to see. And it was very beautiful to see. And this was how we started the Project Nirman. And I'm sure my colleagues will take you through the rest of the journey, where they will talk about the impacts and what all happened in details, right? So I would like to invite Rajeshri Patil now. She is our peer mentor and rural head, like Kitna said, and she will talk about her experiences. Thank you. Over to you.
Rajeshri on mute.
सॉरी उपस्थित सभी मान्यवरों को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं राजश्री पाटिल, गांव चमक, जिला अमरावती से। ग्रामीण में जब स्पाइन इंजरी होती है तब उनका ऑपरेशन जैसे तैसे हो जाता है। एक तो ये पुअर बैकग्राउंड से होते हैं, रिलेटिव, घर, जमीन गिरवी रखकर या कर्जा लेकर ऑपरेशन हो जाता है। यूरिन बैग के साथ घर पर आ जाते हैं, पर उसके बाद खुद की केयर कैसे करें उन्हें कुछ पता न होता। सेंसेशन न होने की वजह से जख्में होती है जो कि वर्स्ट हो जाती है। ड्रेसिंग किस तरह से करें, बैठे नहीं ताकि वो बढ़े नहीं। यूरिन इन्फेक्शन होते रहता है। छोटे विलेजेस जिनकी पॉपुलेशन 250 से 2000 तक के गांव, जो कि मेरा गांव है 1200 लोग पॉपुलेशन का, तो ये गांव में डॉक्टर्स नहीं होते, मेडिकल शॉप्स नहीं, ना एक सिंपल नर्स अगर चाहिए तो वो भी गांव में नहीं होती है। यूरिन बैग चेंज करने के लिए सिटी जाना पड़ता है, फिर बस से नहीं जा सकते तो प्राइवेट व्हीकल लेना पड़ता है। यूरिन बैग और डॉक्टर का खर्चा, ये इससे फैमिली पे बर्डन आ जाता है। और यूरिन इन्फेक्शन की वजह से ज्यादातर मौतें होती है। 2.5 या 3 साल में ही बहुत सी एससीआई गुजर जाते हैं। गांव में लोगों को फिजियोथेरेपी, बेड, व्हीलचेयर, कुशन, ये चीजों की जानकारी न होती, ना ही उनका रिहाब होता है। मतलब 70% तो भी लोगों का गांव के रिहाब नहीं होता है। ना हॉस्पिटल से उन्हें जानकारी दी जाती है, ना फिजियोथेरेपी, तो कितने को मिलती नहीं है। ऑपरेशन के लिए ऑपरेशन जैसे जैसे हो जाता है, फिजियोथेरेपी के लिए फिर पैसा ही बचता नहीं है। सादी व्हीलचेयर अगर वो लेना चाहे तो ले नहीं सकते। 7 से 10 साल तक के ऐसे कुछ लोग जो मेरे कांटेक्ट में थे, जो एक ही कमरे में कितने साल तक थे कि जिनके पास एक व्हीलचेयर नहीं थी, जो कि नीना फाउंडेशन से उन्हें फिर भेजी गई है। भारत में आदमी की कमाई पर फैमिली चलती है, और जब वो स्पाइन इंजरी उसको हो जाती है तो वो घर पर हो जाता है। पूरी फैमिली सफर करती है। औरत फिर उनकी औरत को काम पे जाना पर जो 100 रुपए या 150 रुपए डेली वेजेस पे काम करती है, घर का खर्चा उसी पे आ जाता है, और उसके साथ स्पाइन इंजरी का खर्चा वो कर ना पाती। थाली में 4 चीजें मुश्किल से त्योहार में उनको नसीब होती है। गांव में किसान मजदूर जो फल और जानवरों के लिए चारे के लिए पेड़ से गिर जाते हैं। इलेक्ट्रिक पोल से गिरने से, लाइटनिंग की वजह से कुएं खोदने की मजदूरी के लिए बहुत से मजदूर कुएं में गिर जाते हैं। औरतें पानी के लिए कुएं पे जाती है, वो गिर जाती है, क्योंकि धूप काले में जब गांव में पानी की सुविधा तो होती है, लेकिन जब उसका बिल लाखों में हो जाता है तो गांव का पानी बंद हो जाता है और फिर कुएं से पानी लेना पड़ता है। हैंडपंप होते हैं कुछ जगह पे, लेकिन कुएं से पानी बहुत जगह मेरे गांव में भी लेना पड़ता है। उस वजह से वो भी बहुत बार कुएं में गिर जाती है। कंस्ट्रक्शन के काम करने वाले मजदूर होते हैं। गांव के रास्ते सिटी में ही गड्ढे हो जाते हैं, तो गांव के रास्तों की तो हालत और खराब होती है। और स्ट्रीट लाइट नहीं होते, तो गड्ढों में गिरने से बाइक एक्सीडेंट बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं। इनकी तादाद सबसे ज्यादा स्पाइन इंजरी, इसकी वजह से ज्यादा स्पाइन इंजरी होती है। किरण शेकोकर, गांव शिरसगांव, जिला अमरावती, ग्रेजुएट हुई। एमए के एडमिशन के लिए उसे यूनिवर्सिटी जाना था, जो कि अमरावती में उसके गांव से 1-1.5 घंटे की दूरी पे था। तो लाइट न होने की वजह से वो कुएं से पानी निकालने गई, जो कि कुएं पे लकड़ी की पटलियां रखी होती है, और वो भाप से वो खराब हो जाती है, बहुत लोगों को पता चलता नहीं। तो वो पटली पे चढ़ी और कुएं में गिर गई। 22 साल से वो घर में है। एक सूटेबल व्हीलचेयर उसके पास नहीं, और उसे पता भी नहीं। उसकी फिजियोथेरेपी ना रिहाब कुछ हुआ, और वो मतलब घर पे ही बैठ बैठ के सब चीजें अपने करने लगी। नितिन काले, सावरगांव, जिला यवतमाल से, इंजरी लेवल D11-12। किसान थे। पौधों को मतलब फसल को पानी देना था, और 3-4 दिन से लाइट नहीं थी, तो पौधे सूख जाएंगे, इस वजह से वो खुद ही इलेक्ट्रिक पोल पर चढ़े और गिर पड़े। 14 साल से स्पाइन इंजरी है। उनका ऑपरेशन जमीन बेचकर हुआ, और कुछ जमीन अभी है तो उनकी वाइफ कर रही है, जो कि आजू बाजू वाले भी औरत है, और गांव में औरतें बाहर नहीं निकलती, तो उसको बहुत सारी दिक्कतों को सामना करना पड़ता है। अर्चना बड़े हैं, चिचपुर, जिला अहमदनगर से, 3 बच्चे, और कुएं में पानी लेने के लिए गई तो गिर पड़ी। SCI हुई, ऑपरेशन हुआ। हस्बैंड ने माँ के हाथ छोड़ दिया। ना फिजियोथेरेपी, ना रिहाब, ना कुछ। उसकी वजह से शोर से परेशान है। न्यूरो सर्जन हॉस्पिटल्स में काउंसलर होने चाहिए, क्योंकि ये सब दिक्कतें अगर उन्होंने सही से एक काउंसलर रखे, जानकारी दे, या कोई एनजीओ, जो हमारा एनजीओ है वैसे कोई एनजीओ काम करते हैं, उनसे जोड़ दे, तो इससे कुछ तो दिक्कतें या समस्याएं हल हो सकती हैं। ये सभी दिक्कतों से ग्रामीण कैसे सफर कर रहे हैं। इसमें न्यूरोसर्जन, समाज और गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ अपना योगदान देना चाहिए। धन्यवाद।
Rajeshri, introduce Bhavna.
My dear friend Bhavna, please come.
नमस्ते। मेरा नाम भावना छेड़ा। मैं नीना फाउंडेशन की एक एज अ पीयर मेंटर मैं काम कर रही हूँ। मुझे स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजरी हुई है कार एक्सीडेंट के कारण 23 साल पहले। मेरा लेवल ऑफ इंजरी भी C3 C4 लेवल है। आज मैं उन SCI लोगों के बारे में बात करना चाहती हूँ जो गांव में रहते हैं, जो रूरल है, और जो शहर में भी रहते हैं लेकिन अर्बन पुअर यानी कि स्लम एरिया में रहते हैं। जब भी स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजरी होती है और जब उन लोगों को हॉस्पिटल से डिस्चार्ज दिया जाता है, तब उनको कोई भी जानकारी नहीं दी जाती कि उनको फिजियोथेरेपी करनी पड़ेगी, उनको यूरिन कैथेटर चेंज करना पड़ेगा। अगर ट्रेकियोस्टोमी है तो वो ट्रेकियोस्टोमी भी चेंज करनी पड़ेगी। आपको आपके हेल्थ के बारे में ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, यूरिन इन्फेक्शन ना हो इसके बारे में ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, बेड सोर के बारे में ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा। जब वो घर पे आ जाते हैं तो उनकी परेशानियां और बहुत बढ़ जाती है, क्योंकि उनके पास जो कुछ भी बचत थी या जो कुछ भी पैसे थे वो उन्होंने सब ऑपरेशन और दूसरी सब चीजों के लिए खर्च कर दिए रहते हैं। और अगर वो बंदा जिसको स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजरी हुई है, अगर वो मुख्य कमाने वाला है तो उसके घर में कमाई ही बंद हो जाती है। अभी उसके घर के मेंबर उसका ख्याल रखें कि घर को चलाने के लिए पैसा कमाने जाए, ये दोनों चीजें उनके लिए बहुत ही मुश्किलदायक हो जाती है। उनकी हेल्थ इश्यूज शुरू हो जाते हैं। अगर यूरिन कैथेटर चेंज नहीं करते हैं तो यूरिन इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है। यूरिन कैथेटर गांव में मिलता नहीं है तो वो कहाँ से लाए, दूर तक जाए। एक यूरिन कैथेटर सिर्फ चेंज करना है तो उनको शहर तक जाना पड़ता है, और वो शहर तक जाने के लिए बहुत खर्चा करना पड़ता है जो कि वो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते। दूसरा प्रॉब्लम ये आता है कि टॉयलेट गांव में बहुत से घरों में तो टॉयलेट ही नहीं है, और टॉयलेट है तो इंडियन टॉयलेट है, तो वो भी मुश्किल हो जाता है। कमोड चेयर क्या चीज है वो भी उन्हें पता नहीं है। जब भी उनको 2-2 3-3 दिन तक कॉन्स्टिपेशन की वजह से टॉयलेट नहीं होता है, तब हमें कॉल करके पूछते हैं क्या करें। हम उन्हें बोलते हैं कि फाइबर रिच फूड खाओ या केला खाओ, पपैया खाओ, लेकिन वो इतने रिमोट एरिया में रहते हैं कि जहाँ पे रोज बाजार नहीं होता है, तो और खाने के लिए उनके पास नॉर्मल सब्जी रोटी भी वो लोग खाने का मुश्किल है, तो वो लोग ये फाइबर रिच फूड या फ्रूट्स कहाँ से लाए। 2-2 3-3 घंटे की दूरी पर उनको बाजार बाजार रहता है, और तो वो कहाँ से ये सब चीजें लाके लाए। प्लस उनके पास कमोड चेयर्स ही नहीं है, तो वो कमोड चेयर्स के लिए भी वो पूछते हैं कि कैसे क्या करे। नीना फाउंडेशन ने आज तक 500 से ज्यादा कमोड चेयर्स उन रूरल एरियाज में पहुंचाई है जहाँ पे कुरियर सर्विस नहीं जाती, और उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स अगर दूर रहते हैं उनके घर पे पहुंचाती है, वहां से वो लोग लेते हैं। तो ये चीज भी एक बहुत बड़ी है। वो लोग जमीन पे सोते हैं सिर्फ पतली चादर लगा के, तो उनको बेड सोर्स ज्यादा हो जाते हैं। जो भी स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड है उनको सेंसेशन नहीं रहता, तो उनको कहाँ पे भी चुभन हो जाती है, कहाँ पे भी कुछ लग जाता है, पता नहीं चलता। तो बेसिक चीजें भी उनके पास नहीं है। नीना फाउंडेशन ने उन लोगों को वाटर बेड्स, एयर बेड्स, सिंपल बेड, मैट्रेसेस, वो सभी भी उपलब्ध करा दी है। अगर वो महिला है तो उनको और भी ज्यादा परेशानियां हो जाती है कि एक एक रूम में 10 से 12 जन रहते हैं, तो वो 10 से 12 जन के बीच में वो स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड पर्सन को कपड़े चेंज करना, डायपर चेंज करना, यूरिन कैथेटर करना, CIC कर रहे हैं तो वो करना, वो भी बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। तो हमारे बीच में एक हितेश्री कुलकर्णी जो 10th स्टैंडर्ड की लड़की थी, उसका एक केस आया था। उनका जब एक्सीडेंट हुआ तभी उनके पापा गुजर गए, और माँ और भाई 3 जन बचे हुए थे, घर नहीं था। उनको उनके चाचा के घर में रहने जाना पड़ा, और जो घर छोटा सा था, घर के एक रूम में वो सब रहते थे, और उसको इतनी सारी परेशानियां होती थी। तो हमने उसके फैमिली मेंबर्स से बात की, उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स को मनाया, उसके बेड के आजू बाजू कर्टेन्स लगा के उसको डायपर चेंज करना, उसको कैथेटर कैसे करना वो सब सिखाया, उनके घर के मेंबर्स को कन्विंस किया कि इस प्रकार से अगर पर्दा लगा के हम काम करेंगे तो आपकी भी परेशानियां नहीं होंगी और उसकी भी परेशानियां नहीं होंगी। उसको फिजियोथेरेपी के लिए हमने तैयार किया, क्योंकि स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड पर्सन को फिजियोथेरेपी ही उनकी दवा है। ये चीज समझाना एक बड़ा मुश्किल टास्क है। ऐसे बोलते हैं कि पर्वत के नीचे खड़े हो और अगर वो रिहैबिलिटेशन या फिजियोथेरेपी के लिए मान जाए तो हम एवरेस्ट चढ़ जाए, इतना मुश्किल काम होता है। तो ये सब चीजें अगर हमें जब भी हॉस्पिटल से डिस्चार्ज मिल रहा है तभी अगर न्यूरोसर्जन, अगर अदर डॉक्टर्स या सोशल वर्कर्स ये सब चीजें फैमिली मेंबर्स को और जो स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड पर्सन है उसे वहां पे ही काउंसलिंग करके समझाया जाए तो उसकी लाइफ एक बहुत आसान बन जाती है और उसके एक मेंटली वो प्रिपेयर हो जाए कि हमें इस प्रकार से आगे की लाइफ में रहना है। नीना फाउंडेशन का प्रोजेक्ट निर्माण का काम, जिसमें जो पीयर मेंटर का बहुत बड़ा एक योगदान है, और वो पीयर मेंटर्स भी ऐसे हैं कि जो खुद स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड है। तो अगर एक स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड पर्सन एक स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड पर्सन से बात करता है तो उसे पता चलता है कि हाँ, इन्होंने ऐसे लाइफ को नॉर्मली जी रहे हैं तो हम भी ये लाइफ नॉर्मली जी सकते हैं। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा काम उनके लिए हो जाएगा, बहुत सी लाइफ एकदम जिंदगी आसान हो जाएगी। थैंक यू सो मच। नाउ मैं इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहूंगी यूसुफ भाई को, जो कि नीना फाउंडेशन के एक वॉलंटियर है और रिहैब स्पेशलिस्ट है। नमस्ते यूसुफ भाई, प्लीज आप अपनी बात रखें। थैंक यू।
I don't see him there. Introduce Madhu. By the time OP can call him up and get him. Madhu,
Okay, ma'am.
just introduce Madhu, Bhavna.
मधु सिंह, केतना दीदी ने बताया कि जब वो 2 साल की थी तभी उनको स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजरी हुई है, एंड वो प्रोजेक्ट निर्माण सांता क्रूज में जो नीना फाउंडेशन का ओपीडी चालू है उसमें वो एज अ प्योर मेंटर जा रही है। सो वेलकम मधु।
Thank you, Bhavna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. And good evening, everybody. I would like to thank Nina Foundation to make me so independent and give me opportunity as a peer mentor to Project Nirman. So whenever I used to go for Project Nirman every Wednesday 2 to 4, मुझे बहुत बहुत नए SCI फ्रेंड से मिलने का मौका मिला और उन्हें किस तरह से आगे बढ़ना है ये समझाने का मौका मिला। और वो लोग जब मुझे देखते थे कि मैं भी एक SCI हूँ और मैं कैसे अकेले ट्रैवल कर रही हूँ, कैसे आ रही हूँ, जा रही हूँ, अपना डिसीजन खुद ले रही हूँ, तो खाली मुझे देख के भी उनको एक अलग तरह का एक अलग तरह का उनको ये हो जाता था कि उनकी लाइफ में भी आगे बहुत कुछ है। सो आई लाइक टू really appreciate Nina Foundation to give me this opportunity, and more than 100 पेशेंट्स को हम लोग ने काउंसलिंग किया है और उसमें से काफी लोग ने सब डॉक्टर से मिलके उनके सब प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुए हैं और उन्होंने लाइफ में आगे बढ़ने का उन्हें एक अच्छा मौका मिला है। सो Project Nirman was really very good, and thanks to Nina Foundation. Yusuf Bhai is there? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
He's there.
Yeah, so now I introduce Yusuf Bhai.
यूसुफ भाई शुरू हो जाइए।
ओ मैडम, नमस्कार। नमस्कार सभी साथियों को। मेरा नाम मोहम्मद यूसुफ शेख है। मैं नीना फाउंडेशन के रिहेबिलिटेशन टीम का मेंबर हूँ। बहुत खुद को भाग्यशाली समझता हूँ कि मुझे ये मौका मिल रहा है। मैं एक ऐसी सोसाइटी और ऐसे कम्युनिटी के साथ मिला हुआ हूँ जो मैनकाइंड के लिए बहुत बड़ा काम करता है। मैं डॉक्टर केतन मेहता और जितने भी स्पीकर लोगों ने बात किया है उसके परिप्रेक्ष्य में, मैं उसी के पस मंजर में मेरे कुछ अनुभव रखूंगा। जो भी उन्होंने कहा मेरे मन में ऐसा था कि ये बातें तो मेरे को बोलनी थी, तो मैडम पहले बोल दिए। ऐसा मेरे मन में भाव था, लेकिन मैं मेरी बातों को उसी के तनाजुर में, उसी के पस मंजर में आप लोगों के समक्ष रखने की कोशिश करूँगा। एक्चुअली जब स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजर्ड पेशेंट हॉस्पिटल में पहुंचता है, उसकी आबादी या बर्बादी की कहानी उसी दिन से शुरू हो जाती है। अगर वो सही तरीके से वहां पे ट्रीट हुआ, मेरे सामने एक मिसाल है, पंकज सोलंकी हमारा एक यंग SCI है, क्वाड्रिप्लेजिक पेशेंट है। 2010 में उसको गणेश चतुर्वेदी के विसर्जन टाइम एक्सीडेंट हुआ, तो उनको तुरंत हॉस्पिटल लेके गया, साइन हॉस्पिटल लेके गया। साइन हॉस्पिटल में 1 महीने तक उसको रखा गया, 1 महीने तक रखा गया। तो आजू बाजू में जो उसके आजू बाजू के लोग थे, जो भी पेशेंट थे, वो लोगों ने बोला अरे तुम्हारा तो कोई इलाज नहीं हो रहा है, कोई तुम्हारा ट्रीटमेंट नहीं हो रहा है, अच्छा है तुम बम्बई हॉस्पिटल जाओ। उधर 1 महीना वेस्ट करने के बाद वो बम्बई हॉस्पिटल गया। बम्बई हॉस्पिटल में उसका ऑपरेशन हुआ। ऑपरेशन करने के बाद वो घर पे आया। घर पे आने के बाद उसको वहां से डिस्चार्ज नोट लिख के दिया गया, ये दवाई खाना, कैथेटर चेंज करना, ऐसा करना, ऐसा करना। लेकिन उसके साथ में मैं जब 13 साल के बाद नीना फाउंडेशन के कांटेक्ट में वो आया, 13 साल के बाद जब वो नीना फाउंडेशन के कांटेक्ट में आया, तो नीना फाउंडेशन ने उसकी रिहेबिलिटेशन के लिए जो कोशिश की,
There seems to be a problem. Ninu, just take over and start
Yeah,
with
yes, I was just
Dr.
going to ask.
Raghunath. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank
Somebody
you.
call up, Sunita, just call up Yusuf and say that.
हेलो,
हाँ, he's back.
तो वो बम्बई हॉस्पिटल में जो उसको फाइल मिला 13 साल के बाद, जब मैं नीना फाउंडेशन के थ्रू उनके घर पे गया, तो वो फाइल के अंदर मैंने एक कागज का पर्चा देखा जिसपे लिखा है रिहेबिलिटेशन नीडेड, लेकिन साथ में ये लिखा है कि इसको 2.5 लाख रुपए रिहेबिलिटेशन का खर्चा है। अभी जब वो सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में गया, सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में अगर उसका ट्रीटमेंट हो जाता सही तरीके से, उसके बाद बम्बई हॉस्पिटल में उसका ट्रीटमेंट हो जाता, तो उसको घर बेचना नहीं पड़ता, उसके बाप को रिक्शा बेचना नहीं पड़ता उसके ट्रीटमेंट के लिए। अभी उसका ट्रीटमेंट बाद में क्या हुआ, बम्बई हॉस्पिटल से वापस आया, ये मालूम पड़ा कि 2.5 लाख रुपए खर्चा होएगा। तो जो आजू बाजू के जो आप लोग रहते हैं, जिधर माहिम का कोई आदमी उसको बोला कि तुम्हारे को मैं मालिश करके ठीक करेगा, उसने 1.5 लाख रुपया उससे लिया, उसके बाप का रिक्शा बेच के 1.5 लाख रुपए उसको दिया। माहिम में उसको एक झोंपड़े में बाड़ी में रख दिया वो आदमी ने, और उधर वो 15 दिन तक उसको चूहे काटने को आते थे। वो तो घर पे उसने कंप्लेंट किया कि भाई मेरा ऐसा हालत इधर हो रहा है, तो घर वालों ने वापस उसको लेके गया। तो वो जोला साहब ने बोला भाई तुम आधे ट्रीटमेंट में से चला गया, तुम ठीक कैसा हो सकता है। अगर हॉस्पिटल में मैं देख रहा हूँ कि सोशल वर्क डिपार्टमेंट के इतने बड़े बड़े दावे हैं, इतने बड़े बड़े सोशल वर्क के ऊपर खर्चे हैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया करती है, इतना बड़ा उसका ओपी है। साइन हॉस्पिटल में मैं देखता हूँ, केएम हॉस्पिटल में देखता हूँ, लेकिन सोशल वर्कर ऐसे पेशेंट लोगों से मिलके, उसके घर वालों से मिलके उनको ये बात समझाते कि इसका अभी भविष्य क्या होने वाला है। तो वो ऐसे जोला छाप और ऐसे ठग लुटेर लोगों के हत्थे नहीं चढ़ते। उसके अलावा हमारे सामने दूसरी मिसाल है अपना शंकर सूर्यवंशी है, उसने 3 बीघा जमीन बेच दिया, 7.5 लाख रुपए उसके ऑपरेशन पे खर्चा हुआ, साइन हॉस्पिटल में उसका ऑपरेशन हुआ, रिहेबिलिटेशन के लिए उसके पास फिर पैसा नहीं था। फिर आगे चल के भाई लोगों ने उसको बोला, भाई हम डॉक्टरों से जब मालूम पड़ा कि आगे चलने वाला नहीं है, भाई लोगों ने बोला जो हमने जमीन बेचा था वो हमने तुम्हारे खर्च का बेचा था, तुम्हारे हिस्से का बेचा था। वो एक झोंपड़े में छोटी सी खेती उसको दिया, झोंपड़ा बनाया, उसमें रहा। नीना फाउंडेशन ने उसका सबसे बड़ा जो टेंशन था वो दूर किया कि उसका एक बेटा था, उसने जब मेरे सामने रोक के ये बताया कि उस भाई मैं मर जाऊं या रह जाऊं, मेरे को इस चीज का दुख नहीं है, मेरा एक ही लड़का है, मेरा 32 साल का उम्र है, मैं कब तक जीऊंगा मालूम नहीं। लेकिन वो लड़का मेरा पढ़ाई करता था इंग्लिश मीडियम में। इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल वाले ने बोला कि भाई ये अभी फीस तुम भरता नहीं तो इधर पढ़ाई नहीं कर सकता है, तो उसको मैंने मराठी मीडियम में डाला। मेरा भाई उसको अभी देखभाल कर रहा है, लेकिन मराठी मीडियम में अभी 5वीं की बात तो उसको कुछ समझ नहीं आता है क्योंकि वो इंग्लिश मीडियम का है। मैं डॉक्टर केतन मेहता जी के पास ये केस लेके गया, उन्होंने बोला उसके बच्चे का खर्चा हम उठाएंगे, पढ़ाई का खर्चा। आज की तारीख में वो बच्चा इंजीनियरिंग के 2nd ईयर में है पुणे में, और शंकर सूर्यवंशी इतना खुश हो गया, उसको इतना हिम्मत आया, क्वाड्रिप्लेजिक है वो, क्वाड्रिप्लेजिक होने के बावजूद उसने मिठाई और बिस्किट का छोटा सा ऐसा स्टॉल खोला, क्वाड्री होने के बावजूद। आज की तारीख में उसका दुकान 25 बाय 20 का है, और उसने पुणे में वही लड़के के लिए 15 लाख रुपए का प्लॉट खरीदा। बेटा मेरा इधर गांव में अभी नहीं आएगा मेरा बेटा, और वो भगवान को कम याद करता है, नीना फाउंडेशन को ज्यादा याद करता है, लेकिन उसके बेचारे के रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, वो कनेक्टेड रहे। लेकिन वो बोलता है मैं आज जो कुछ भी हूँ, उसके जो भाई उसको बोले खेत तुम्हारा बिक गया, तुम्हारे इलाज में अभी तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं है, वो भाई आज उसके दुकान में काम करते हैं, खेल का काम करते हैं, सामान वामान उठा के रखते हैं। इसके अलावा जितने भी लोग हैं वो हॉस्पिटल के अंदर ही लुट जाते हैं, हॉस्पिटल के अंदर ही रहते हुए। अभी जो निजी हॉस्पिटल है उनके अंदर तो जाने की औकात नहीं है, जो गांव से आया उसको मालूम नहीं रहता है। लेकिन जब वो हॉस्पिटल के बाहर आ जाते हैं, हॉस्पिटल के बाहर आने के बाद, मैं साइन हॉस्पिटल का बात कर रहा हूँ, हॉस्पिटल से बाहर जब आते हैं, हॉस्पिटल के बाहर आने के बाद पेशेंट को अपनी वो परेशानी जो डॉक्टरों के साथ मिलने में, सोशल वर्कर के साथ मिलने में या ट्रीटमेंट कराने में पैराप्लेजिक पेशेंट को होती है, वो परेशानी देखने के बाद वो जब बाहर आता है तो बाहर उसके खरीदार लगे रहते हैं। मेरा खुद का ये अनुभव है, बाहर गेट के बाहर ऐसे लोग खड़े रहते हैं, वो उसको देख के बोलते हैं आंटी जो भी उसके साथ पेशेंट के साथ हो, मामा ये पेशेंट को क्या हुआ है, और उधर से कहानी बताना शुरू कर देते हैं कि इसको ऐसा स्पाइनल कॉर्ड का प्रॉब्लम है ना, हाँ मेरे भाई को भी ऐसा हो गया था लेकिन वो ठीक हो गया, लेकिन तुम इतना तक नहीं उठाएंगे। और उनको अपने इसमें, क्योंकि वो हॉस्पिटल के अंदर, चाहे वो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल हो या सरकारी हॉस्पिटल हो, उसमें परेशान होके ओपीडी में 6 घंटा लाइन में लगने के बाद, क्योंकि कोई उनको कंसिडर नहीं करता है कि ये पैराप्लेजिक है, उसको पहले जाने दें, उसका पेशाब का तकलीफ, बहुत सारे टेंशन उसके बढ़ जाते हैं। तो बाहर जाने के बाद जब उसको कोई हमदर्दी की बात करता है तो उसके घर वाले भी फंस जाते हैं, और घर वाले ये सोचते हैं कि ये पेशेंट को अभी खुश करने के लिए कम से कम इसका ट्रीटमेंट हम देखेंगे। तो बाद में वो उसको अपने सेटअप में, जो उनका सेटअप रहता है, उधर लेके जाते हैं। उधर वो उसको बोलते हैं हमारा ये पाउडर है, और आपको भगवान का जो भी आप उसको फूल चढ़ाते हैं उसको पाउडर बनाने का सुखा के, और नारियल का तेल डालने का, चंपा के फूल खुशबू वाले होने चाहिए, और ऐसा उसको मतलब वो डिट्रैक्ट करते हैं कि हम क्या करना चाहते हैं। फिर बाद में उसको बोलते हैं तुम वो तेल लाओ, 1 लीटर का तेल लाओ, 2 लीटर का तेल लाओ, हम वो दवा उसमें डाल देंगे, और उसको लाखों रुपया खर्च वो उसका बोलते हैं। ऐसे केसेस हैं, मेरे को बताया गया है कि नाम नहीं बताना, लेकिन ऐसे लोग हैं जिनके साथ ऐसा हुआ। वो क्यों ऐसा करते हैं? क्योंकि वो निराश हो जाते हैं। हमारी जो सरकारी सुविधा और हमारी सरकारी जो अरेंजमेंट है, उसमें खुद मेरा अनुभव है कि हॉस्पिटल में जाने के बाद वो पेशेंट बोलता है अब मैं कभी ये हॉस्पिटल में आऊंगा नहीं, कैथेटर चेंज करने का है, सीधा उसको डॉक्टर बोलता है क्या प्रॉब्लम है? सर कैथेटर चेंज करना है। वो कोने में उधर खड़ा हो जाओ, वो 4-4 घंटा कोने में खड़ा रहेगा, मतलब जो उसको सम्मान और जो उसको इज्जत मिलना चाहिए ये सोसाइटी में, अगर वो इतनी हाई मॉरलिटी और हाई डिग्निटी वाले समाज से ना मिल पाए, जिनको हम डॉक्टर कहते हैं, तो अगर उनसे उनको इज्जत नहीं मिले, क्योंकि डॉक्टर ही सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम उसका समझ सकता है। तो बाहर की जो सोसाइटी है उसके आजू बाजू वाले यूपी, बिहार, मध्य प्रदेश, उधर तो व्हीलचेयर पे पेशेंट को देखते हैं जैसा हम रोड पे कहीं पे गंदगी देखते हैं उससे खुद को बचा के साइड से निकल जाते हैं, ऐसा जब व्हीलचेयर पे आदमी को देखते हैं तो साइड से निकल जाते हैं, बोलते हैं इसको मालूम नहीं क्या भूत प्रेत आत्मा आ गया है। यहाँ पे हमारा एक पेशेंट घाटकोपर में था, उसका नाम तो लेना नहीं चाहूंगा, 21 साल का लड़का, उसकी मृत्यु हो गई बेचारे की, क्वाड्रिप्लेजिक था। उसके घर में ऐसा सिस्टम था, वो बोलते थे वो बाबा ने तेल बोला है, वो बाबा ने ये पाउडर बोला है, अगरबत्ती का वो ऐश जो आता है वो जख्म को डालने का वो ठीक हो जाएगा। अभी उसके घर वाले भी बेचारे जो माँ बाप परेशान है कि हमारी दादी ऐसा बोलती है, उसको आस्था है इसमें, ऐसा करते करते 21 साल का लड़का बेचारा मर गया। नैना फाउंडेशन ने बहुत कोशिश की, उसको एमजे हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट कराया, कहाँ नहीं लेके गए उसको, लेकिन उसका पूरा बेड सोर एकदम अंदर हड्डी तक चला गया था, लेकिन उसका ट्रीटमेंट यही हो रहा। बोल रहे थे घर में, वो दादी बोलती थी अगर इसको किधर खून का एक बूंद नहीं आया, अगर इसको किधर एक जख्म नहीं है तो ये कैसा बीमारी है जिसकी वजह से इसका हाथ नहीं हिल रहा है, पैर नहीं हिल रहा है, पेशाब का मालूम नहीं पड़ता है, हाथ लगाते हैं, इसके अंदर कोई अदृश्य शक्ति घुस गई है। इस तरीके से ऐसा अंधविश्वास के ऊपर घर वालों ने भरोसा किया और वो बच्चे की जिंदगी चली गई। ऐसे हालात में रहने वाले पेशेंट लोगों को नैना फाउंडेशन न सिर्फ मदद करती है, उनको जो सामान लगता है, व्हीलचेयर लगता है, उनको बेड की जरूरत पड़ती है, टाइम पे जो भी उनको जरूरत पड़ती है, बल्कि सबसे ज्यादा बड़ा और अहम काम ये करती है कि पैराप्लेजिक का आने वाला टाइम कैसा रहेगा उसको अपने अनुमान में लेते हुए, अपने इसमें लेते हुए एक प्रोग्राम इसके बारे में निष्कर्ष करते हैं कि ये पेशेंट का हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं और ये ऐसा हो सकता है। तो इस तरीके से जितने भी रूरल एरिया में पेशेंट है वो सबका अगर कहीं कहीं में हमारे को दिखाई देता है कि कोई उसको मदद हुआ है या कोई उसको साहस मिला है जीने का, तो उसमें नैना फाउंडेशन का बहुत बड़ा रोल है। नैना फाउंडेशन ये काम न सिर्फ गांव देहात में करते हैं बल्कि पूरे वर्ल्ड में अच्छा होने की उम्मीद रखते हैं। आज का डॉक्टर केतन मेहता का
थैंक यू यूसुफ भाई, शुक्रिया यूसुफ भाई, प्लीज थैंक यू सो मच। आपका जो पॉइंट है वो आ गया है, हम ऑलरेडी डिलेड है, वेरी सॉरी टू नीनू।
यस यूसुफ भाई, आपकी जो रियल लाइफ स्टोरीज हैं वो इतनी ग्रिपिंग है, जो हम ऐसा लगता है कि आपको सुनते जाएं, और इतना कुछ सीखने को है इन जो रियल लाइफ स्टोरीज हैं, जो सच्ची कहानियां हैं। हम डेफिनेटली आपके साथ एक अलग सेशन के लिए मिलना चाहेंगे, जहां हम इन सभी लोगों को जिनका आपने हमें शेयर किया इनकी स्टोरीज, उनसे मिलना चाहेंगे, उनके बारे में और सुनना चाहेंगे। आई एम श्योर जो हम अब सभी यहाँ पे जो हमें सुन रहे हैं वो आपसे ख़ास 1-to-1 मिलना चाहेंगे और ये सारी कहानियाँ और एक्सपीरियंसेस के बारे में जानना चाहेंगे। थैंक यू यूसुफ भाई, आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं इन स्पाइट ऑफ आपके अपने चैलेंजेस होते हुए। यू आर रियली आ हीरो। तो एक हीरो से दूसरे हीरो की तरफ जाते हुए हमारे साथ जो एक एमिनेंट स्पीकर है हमारे साथ डॉक्टर तरल नागरा, हम उनकी ज़ुबानी एक डॉक्टर के नज़रिए से सुनना चाहेंगे कि उनका क्या कहना है इन सारे अनुभवों और जो हालात हैं हमारे, जो रियल फैक्ट्स हैं ऑन द ग्राउंड। सो क्विकली, आई विल नॉट टेक टू मच. Dr. Taral has been very crisp person and not given much of his profile to us. So he is a pediatric orthopedic surgeon in Mumbai, and he's attached, he's a surgeon with SRCC NH Children Hospital, Jupiter Hospital, Hinduja Hospital, and Saifi Hospital. He is also the director. Can we please have the clear scheme, Andrila, please? He is director at Jupiter CP Clinic, director Jupiter Gate Analysis Lab, and he has special interest pedort, which is pediatric hip cerebral palsy deformity correction. And other than this, there's a whole lot of interesting side to him, which is gadgets. We would like to, and no wonder he was helping Ketna today, and farming, that is again very interesting. And reading, did I miss that? The screen went off, Onrila. Okay.
Yeah, I'm there.
So here is a man who, with varied interests and a lot of experience from him, we would like to hear this. And his title is Healthcare Prevention Gaps, Seeing the World from Both the Sides and the Lessons Learned. So over to you, Dr. Naga. Please help me join him.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. A lot of interesting stories have come on the way, and I'm a lucky person, I would say, because I have seen life from both sides. तो इसलिए मेरा जो आज डिग्री है MS SCS, MS is Master of Surgeon and SCS is Spinal Cord Injury Survivor. So I'm talking from both the sides here. I've really experienced. I must say कि मैं fortunate हूँ, lucky हूँ, क्योंकि जिन लोगों का आप इलाज करते हैं, उनके शरीर से क्या गुजरती है, उनके दिमाग से क्या गुजरती है, what are the psychological issues, what are the spiritual issues, what it is like having unrelenting pain which does not respond to any analgesic. You know how it is to complain to a doctor कि आप जो दवाई injection मुझे antibiotic दे रहे हो, it is paining a lot, and my entire body pains after the antibiotic is given. What it is like having a catheter in your own body. I have removed many catheters, inserted many Foley's catheter, but what is the pain and difficulties of having a catheter in your body, I experienced for the first time. You know, there are a lot of organizations, काफी organizations हमसे जुड़े हुए हैं, और मैं ये नहीं चाहता कि हर डॉक्टर को एक अच्छा डॉक्टर के बनने के लिए इस सब से गुजरना पड़े, मैं नहीं चाहता. लेकिन I hope you know, the programs like this can bring to the notice what are the actual issues, you know, with the patient with spinal cord. जो मेरे पहले जो नीना से केतना से शुरू करके all the speakers, you know, they have told us the real life stories, and these stories do not begin with spinal cord injury. They do not end with the surgery. In fact, these stories begin with the surgery. ये ऑपरेशन के बारे में बात क्या होता है, you know, मुझे कहा गया कि you tell about the gaps. जब हम गैप की बात करते हैं, दो बाजू होती हैं. The gap exists when there are two sides. If there is only one side, there is no gap. When there are two sides, there is a gap. So I would like to talk about both the sides. इसलिए मेरा title है WWW. It is not World Wrestling Federation और you know, कुश्ती तो चल रही है केतना जी, कुश्ती हमारे बीच और गवर्नमेंट के बीच, हमारे बीच और सोसाइटी के बीच, हमारे बीच और सब मेडिकल सर्विसेज के बीच, ये कुश्ती तो चल रही है, but this is in a different manner. I want to tell what went well in my case. कि क्या चीजें अच्छी हुई, ताकि लोगों को पता चले कि ऐसा भी होता है. This also happens. And what went well in my case was immediate evacuation. जब मेरा एक्सीडेंट हुआ, fortunately we were able to evacuate safely out of the car. काफी सारी मुश्किलें थी. जब ऑटोमेटिक कार चलती है और एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, कार के डोर्स लॉक हो जाते हैं, उस आदमी और औरत को निकालना मुश्किल हो जाता है. एंड आई फील कि ये चीजें जरूरी हो कि हर गाड़ी के अंदर एक हैमर हो, हथौड़ा. ये हथौड़ा गवर्नमेंट का सर फोड़ने के लिए नहीं, लेकिन एक गाड़ी का कांच तोड़ने के लिए जरूरी है कि वो आदमी या औरत को इवैक्यूएट करा जाए. दैट शुड बी सीजर इन एवरी कार. यू नो, एयरक्राफ्ट में सीजर अलाउड नहीं है, बट हर कार के अंदर एक सीजर होना चाहिए, ताकि जो अपना सीट बेल्ट है हम लोग काट सकें, एक आदमी या औरत जिसको स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजरी हुआ है उसको बाहर निकालने. So these are few things I feel Ketna should be mandatory for every new car. A hammer, along with the toolkit, a hammer and a scissor should be provided to every new car. मुझे ये भी लगता है कि every car, nowadays there are a lot of computer savvy cars, but ऐसा बटन होना चाहिए कि जिस कार का collision हो जाए, immediately the information should be sent to a nearest medical center as an emergency कि this car had an accident, and rather than that person remaining unattended for half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, because लोग देखते नहीं, पास हो जाते हैं, गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, they feel it's police's job to do everything, and इसीलिए देरी हो जाती है. So मैं चाहता हूं कि एक नोटिफिकेशन जाए either to a police headquarter or to a medical nearest medical facility. ये notification, and it's not a difficult technology, ताकि help is available immediately. Secondly, I also want that every child or every school going children, must be given training for first aid, rescue operations, and evacuation of people in an accident. It's very difficult to create a complete army of people to manage this. But if every school-going child, those who want to take admission to college, the admission will not be given unless you finish this necessary training. Every police officer, anyone who wants to apply for police, until this training is completed, that person will not be given duty as a police officer. So few of the things should be in a training process, and Nina Foundation can help to make a curriculum for these things. A chapter in a 10th standard or 9th standard class which talks about accidents, which talks about what results from accidents, and how evacuation can be carried out, because what is learned then can be used anytime in your life. So this is one suggestion, one skill. I was given immediate primary treatment. In addition to spinal cord injury, I also had a radial artery injury and profuse bleeding. My wife also had multiple injuries, and we could get immediate primary treatment because my phone was on and I could share location of where we were with some of the friends. I also had somehow list of some of the doctors in that area, so they could reach out to me immediately. तुरंत मेरा ट्रीटमेंट शुरू हो गया. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इंडियन ऑर्थोपेडिक एसोसिएशन यदि एक हेल्पलाइन नंबर प्रोवाइड करे from their office, that any injury, any catastrophic trauma, there is a helpline, and you tell your location, and whichever is the nearest available orthopedic surgeon or a trauma center in that area, they will be able to guide to you. So this is also something which can be done. A helpline number by Indian Orthopedic Association जो dial करके, और ये जो है sticker चिपका हुआ हो हर गाड़ी के ऊपर. So we have road assist services when a vehicle gets damaged. There is no assist service when a person gets damaged. This is something which is really striking. So ये एक suggestion है मेरा. Second is early transfer to a tertiary care center. और जैसे केतना जी ने बताया और काफी सारे लोगों ने बताया, it is not required to sell your land, jewelry to get a spinal cord treatment done. Most of the teaching hospitals this can be done. Only thing हमको ये बताना है कि डिले नहीं होना है. जैसे यूसुफ जी ने बताया कि एक हॉस्पिटल में, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में देरी हो गई, जैसे काफी फिल्म के गाने हैं देरी के ऊपर और इंतजार के ऊपर, तो पेशेंट इंतजार करते रहते हैं कि मेरा नंबर कब आएगा. तो दिस शुड बी ट्रीटेड एज एन इमरजेंसी, and it should be legally mandatory for a doctor, once they receive a spinal cord injury patient, within 24 hours उसका operation होना जरूरी है. Otherwise the spinal cord loses all its chances. So my surgery was done within 8 hours and I was lucky there. उसके बाद अर्ली रिहेबिलिटेशन ये जरूरी है, क्योंकि आप जिस हॉस्पिटल में हैं वहां पे सर्जरी होती है लेकिन रिहैब शुरू नहीं होता जनरली. द रिहैब शुड बी स्टार्टेड इन द हॉस्पिटल, और इसीलिए वी हैव टू educate the doctors and educate and make sure that the treatment is available. मेरा ये सुझाव है कि like every communicable disease, it is mandatory to notify to government कि आपको पोलियो हो गया, आपको यदि डेंगू होता है, यदि आपको कोविड होता है, it is necessary to notify government. Similarly, spinal cord injury should be a notifiable disorder. In fact, every road traffic accident should be a notified disorder. तो ही अपने पास एक डेटा बनेगा, रिसर्च बनेगा कि कैसे इंजरी होती है, कितने लोगों को होती है, कौन से वो रोड हैं जहाँ पे एक्सीडेंट होते हैं. जैसे मेरा रोड एक्सीडेंट जहाँ पे हुआ, हमारा इंजरी हुआ, काफी महीने बाद उसी सड़क पे, उसी स्थान पे साइरस मिस्त्री का भी एक्सीडेंट हुआ एंड he couldn't survive. And it seems that there are at least 10 accidents happening same place. लेकिन हम लोग सीखते नहीं है. We don't learn how to prevent this. So once we have data through notification, government will realize कि इस स्थान पे ज्यादा एक्सीडेंट हो रहे हैं, इस व्हीकल से ज्यादा एक्सीडेंट हो रहे हैं, इस एज ग्रुप में ज्यादा एक्सीडेंट हो रहे हैं, and we will know how to prevent. Once you have notification, ये भी समझ में आएगा कि उस व्यक्ति को रिहैबिलिटेशन मिलना चाहिए. और ये कैसे मिले रिहैबिलिटेशन, क्योंकि सिर्फ हॉस्पिटल रिहैबिलिटेशन नहीं है, ऑनगोइंग रिहैबिलिटेशन काफी जरूरी है. Many things are required, like we need to start a residential rehabilitation center जो every district. For example, एक अमरावती के छोटे गांव में किसका रोड एक्सीडेंट हो गया, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इंजरी हो गई, लोकल हॉस्पिटल में ट्रीटमेंट भी हो गया, लेकिन उसके बाद जो रिहैबिलिटेशन जो है, इट शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड इन अ सेंट्रल प्लेस, एक जगह जहाँ पे सारी फैसिलिटी उपलब्ध है. इट कैन बी अवेलेबल इन एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट, and every district has rehabilitation center, and there are movements from now neuro rehabilitation, Indian Federation of Neuro Rehabilitation कि हर district में एक neuro rehabilitation हो center, residential, which should be by government, it should be free. In my case, the insurance paid for my rehabilitation for 3 months. तो ये भी एक चीज जरूरी है कि हम लोग इंश्योरेंस जिनका है, जिनके पास है, उनको सेंसिटाइज करें कि इंश्योरेंस नॉट ओनली पेज फीस फॉर योर सर्जरी, बट इट आल्सो कैन पे 1 to 3 months फॉर योर रिहैब. जिनके पास इंश्योरेंस नहीं है, वी मस्ट मेक अरेंजमेंट्स कि उनका रिहैबिलिटेशन कहीं ना कहीं हो जाए. तो कितना व्हाट वी नीड टू डू इज एक्ट एज अ ब्रिज थ्रू नीना फाउंडेशन बिटवीन patients who need rehabilitation and centers who can provide. I know that Nina has been that bridge for many patients. There are stories कि वो stories लिखते जाएं तो पन्ने भर जाएं, इतनी सारी stories हैं. लेकिन मैं चाहूंगा कि this is available to every person with spinal cord injury, and we must reach out to them so that they can take advantage of network of Nina Foundation and they can reach out. One good thing which is happening is I have seen, at least in Bombay now, at Bombay Central, we have been able to start a 10,000 square feet pediatric rehabilitation center, which is run by Bombay Municipal Corporation. There are many buildings which are rehabilitated. Buildings are rehabilitated. They break down old buildings, create new buildings, and part of the FSI as an area is given to government. It will be good if we can connect to local corporators and politicians, and this can be, some of these properties can be reserved for a rehabilitation center for spinal cord injury patients. It is possible. There is a place available, in Andheri, where I know one organization is trying to set up a rehabilitation center, which will be government owned and run by an NGO. Okay, so I'll connect Ketna to this NGO, and we can make sure that many such centers, through efforts of government, through efforts of NGO, come up. What I also feel, which is what is necessary, Ketna, कि जहाँ पे doctors नहीं है, वहाँ internet और mobile पहुँच सकते हैं. So online consultations, online rehabilitations, online solutions to problem, online delivery of wheelchairs and medicines and catheters हम लोग ensure करें Nina Foundation से और government से. That will be also a positive step. So with this, I feel the future is bright. Always we have to be hopeful, because WWW is what went well. It can be also what went wrong. but WWW also means what will work. And once we are clear about these things, मुझे लगता है from what went wrong, we can go to what will work. And that's the role of Nina Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taral. WWW मैं सिर्फ इतना कह सकती हूँ, वाह वाह वाह। आपने इतने अच्छे तरीके से पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट इतना क्रिस्पली अपनी स्टोरी के ज़रिए हमें जो प्रिवेंशन और जो गैप्स जैसे हम कैसे फिल कर सकते हैं उनका हमें सोल्यूशन दिया। एंड आई एम श्योर Ketna has noted them down, and Nina Foundation as a team, we will definitely follow that and work together with you to find some of these solutions and execute them, which can really help so many people, in times of an accident and other such emergencies. So yes, and taking help of the technology, the internet available, everybody has a mobile these days. So yes, certainly there is lots that we can do with suggestions from you. So moving on, we have now, after looking at the gaps, how we can fill them, we would like to hear from one of our another eminent speaker, Dr. Uday Khopkar. His title being Guidance Template to Educate the Primary Healthcare Team to New SCI Survivors for Preventing Life-Threatening Bed Sores. I think that's one of the, again, very critical subject and concern for most of the spinal cord injuries, the bed sores. And before I invite him, I would like to introduce him to all of you. Dr. Uday Khopkar is a consultant dermatologist and dermatopathologist in Mumbai. He has, of course, many accolades to him. He is retired professor of dermatology, KEM Hospital and GS Medical College, Mumbai. Undergraduate and postgraduate medical education at Nair Hospital and the Medical College, Mumbai, TN Medical College, Mumbai. He is also consultant dermatologist and dermatopathologist, Mumbai. Past editor of Indian Journal of Dermatology, Mineralogy, Leprology from 2003 to 2008. And
Thank you, Nino. I think I need not go through everything. It's unnecessary.
I know you're being humble. Okay, if I mean, we would love to know. I would like all the people listening to know.
If you
about
stop
you.
sharing the screen, then I can share.
Okay, fine. Okay, we would like to hear you out, and then I'm sure people who want to know you more better can then come to you one to one. So over to you, Dr. Khopkar. So please help me join Dr. Khopkar, and we would like to know about the bed sores and your other experiences from you. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Nino, for the introduction. Yeah, I'll go to the first slide. Okay, put it on slideshow. It was really amazing to listen to the work of all the colleagues of Nina Foundation, from Nina Foundation, and really congratulations to Ketna and her team for this wonderful work. And I sympathize with all the stories that were related. They really struck a chord with me, and even I was injured in 1984, and I have paraplegia, and I did my post-graduation and all my teaching job on a wheelchair. So I have been through it all, and I must say that rehabilitation is a continuing process. As Dr. Taral mentioned, he made some wonderful suggestions. I think very, very positive outlook Dr. Taral has, and that really should be, those suggestions should be kept in mind. we will be focusing on the skin care for this short talk. And I think compared to the things and experiences that have been related, this is a relatively minor looking issue, but we'll see why it is an important thing for in the life of a spinal cord injured person. Because pain is the red signal. Pain is the red signal, and this signal goes missing in persons with spinal cord injury, because they lose or have lost completely or reduced sensation due to spinal cord injury. Pain is a protective sensation, and that protection of pain is gone, and therefore pressure sores tend to occur. And they are caused due to mobility issue. Basically, the person is not able to move. The functional capacity of the person also goes down, and they tend to get infected thereon, which has a problem, which causes problems, complications like infection spreading to other parts of the body. And it also has psychosocial impact, that discharge from these wounds becomes embarrassing after a while. And every now and then you have to, go for dressings and some intervention from medical persons, and how those contacts are creating problems, I think we just heard. Data from developed countries says that 60% of quadriplegics develop pressure sores. So even in developed countries, it's a problem. So no surprise that in India, it is one of the commonest things to happen. And in fact, 10% of serious disease and even death in paraplegics can be related to pressure sores. Already, I think we heard one story regarding this. And in spite of them being completely preventable. So that's what we are going to see today, how to prevent these pressure sores. So these are the sites of pressure sores where a person is lying down. And during the acute stage, this is an important diagram to remember, that these are the sites, the most common being the lower back, where the bones are maximum in touch with the bed, and the person is unable to move, has not yet adapted to moving, not yet adapted to getting up on the bed. So the person keeps lying on the bed, and the bed also may not be a special bed like we are going to see. Or if a person is lying on the sides all the time, then also it can happen on the sides of the thighs or on the heels. So various points can be affected. And what are the earliest signs of this pressure injury? So the most common earliest sign is a redness that blanches partially or fully, or then finally it doesn't blanch at all. So initially it may be blanching partially or fully, and later on it becomes non-blanching redness, or dark red center it starts developing. There's also a bit of warmth. So these are the main signs. The burning, pain, soreness may or may not be there. Then the pressure sores, they progress to, if it's allowed to persist, if the pressure is not relieved adequately, then it develops into this type of wide area of redness, and it then starts developing a central dark area, which indicates that this tissue is dying. And this tissue is dying because the blood vessels are getting compressed between the bony prominence and the bed. So because of the inadequate supply of nutrition, the tissues die. And there's secondary inflammation or swelling, redness, and due to absence of pain, there is persistence of pressure, and eventually there is a blister or a erosion, what we call erosion or superficial ulceration, where the top of the skin is getting lost. And if you further allow it to progress, then it results in deeper ulcers like this. This is a very bad pressure sore on the center, in the center of the buttock. This is probably due to sitting. And this one is on the side of the foot. It can even be deep enough to expose the fat or deeper tissues like tendons, bones, can cause cellulitis or septicemia. Septicemia can be dangerous, life-threatening. So that's how pressure sores are dangerous. So basically, this is the same thing being shown diagrammatically. Absent or reduced sensation of pain in spinal cord injured leads to persistent pressure, lack of blood supply, and subsequent death of skin tissue cells. And even the deeper tissues can be affected in a similar way if the pressure is allowed to persist. Factors that cause pressure sores apart from actual pressure is shearing force caused due to moving of person or moving of parts over that. For example, while wearing prosthesis or calipers, friction from the same, or a moisture due to a loss of control over urination. There may be leaking of urine, overflow of urine, and that can lead to moisture, or even sweating can contribute to that, especially in hot and humid climate. The sites, particular site may also be responsible. As I mentioned, bony prominences are the sites of preference. Then contact surface, the bed that is there, that is of what type? It depends on that. If it is not of adequate, it is not distributing pressure adequately, then pressure sores are more likely to happen. Chair sores, of course, are not occurring in the acute phase, but they can occur during rehabilitation, during the immediate rehabilitation, when one learns to get onto the wheelchair, and then sometimes we become as a patient, I'm saying that we become euphoric and we don't want to get off the chair, so that actually can lead to this problem. Sitting on the chair for long periods can lead to this kind of chairs. So how do we prevent? So basically the thing is about
I think Dr. Khopkar might have a network issue. Should we wait for a minute?
Can Sunita call up, or somebody else can call up? OP is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you please call him up? Does he have an issue because he was midway? Ninu will just wait for a few seconds while she
Yes,
calls.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Ma'am, he's connecting from his phone now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So we will just wait if Taral wants to speak while he comes on. Ninu, you can do the talking.
Dr. Taral has
Yeah, well, which were the songs you were saying, Taral, about
Intizar
Deri and
or something
Intizar?
on
I am keen to know.
Yeah, इंतजार होगा इंतहा हो गई इंतजार, so
And which other about Deri?
yeah, देर हो गई हमसे. There are many songs. In fact, we can list them on the Nina Foundation website about delay.
You
But
know,
let's
you're
wait
so
for
creative.
Dr.
We must have the songs and then plug it with all prevention strategies. It'll be so interesting to do, no, Sunita? So creative, Nino. We just want
Yes,
to
definitely.
put our hands and teeth into something creative after doing all this. No, pretty work.
I was taken aback before Dr. Taral could complete his sentence that all the cars should have a hammer for a minute. I was like, what? So that's really startled me. But then I understood his where this was coming from, and it really hit me hard. That yeah, I mean, when these all high-end cars they jam and then they just lock. So yeah, it's quite unnerving to even think that when you're locked inside, what do? And you're hurt because of the jerk. So yeah, that's pretty unnerving even thinking about it.
And when you're locked, it's very difficult for people to evacuate. So very simple device, to unlock will be, so every car should have an unlock manual device. When you press that button, all the electronic locking systems don't work and you can manually open the doors. So we need to suggest them to all auto, because people, the engineers who design the cars and doctors who treat the patients have never undergone a spinal cord injury or an accident, and they will never know.
Yeah. Uh, Dr. Khopkar has joined.
Sorry about that. Actually, my laptop battery went down because the connection was not done. It was not plugged in. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, I need to. Okay, so this is, I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry for the break. Prevention of pressure sores. As I mentioned, the movement of pressure points is very important by changing position. One can also change the bed incline if in the initial phase the position change is difficult or painful. One can simply change the bed incline. The beds in hospitals are a little special made for that. It's important to keep the skin dry by using a dry cotton sheet. And if it is wet, it must be changed immediately. A powder can be used, dusting powder can be used. The skin can be hardened with spirit after sponging or bathing. And regularly it should be checked. That is an important aspect of daily care, that it should be checked. The pressure point should be checked regularly for any redness, which I showed earlier, the early redness which occurs. This is showing the angles that are necessary to minimize the pressure, minimize the concentration of pressure, or pressure redistribution is facilitated. And the 30-degree tilt on the side is also helpful. If you do not have particularly spatial bed, then this 30-degree tilt is helpful for lying down. One has to change the side every couple of hours, if not earlier. This type of air bed or water bed, as earlier mentioned, is extremely helpful for distributing pressure and preventing pressure sores. It should be provided as early as possible to the patient. And if till it is made available, one can use pillows at various pressure points, the bony prominences, to minimize on the pressure, minimize on the possibility of getting pressure sores. Different types of specialized beds are available, but they are expensive and difficult to get, can only be there in hospitals. So, but in since we are talking about acute care, I just showed that multicellular beds, which can be even having automatic pumps, are available, though they are expensive. Chair sores should be prevented by, first of all, strengthening muscles. That is a part of rehabilitation, how difficult it is to drive into patient's mind. We know push-up reminders which can be set on the mobile as alarm, shift to bed at intervals in between, and the patients should be taught to stand up as soon as possible with the help of braces, walk with the help of a walker initially, then change the cushion type when it's not possible, to change your seating position, especially when you start moving out of the hospital. Then you can simply change the cushion type, and that also provides change of pressure points. Change the chair also if it is possible, if one is moving from place to place. Ring cushions are simple, inexpensive, and they are available very easily. They are simple inflatable instruments. They last shorter period, but one or two brands that I have come across, Dugback and Indo-Surgical, they are lasting long periods, available online. So one can order them online, and they can even be used on the bed to reduce pressure points. Insert under the most sore point if lying down or sitting without losing balance. Balance can be, may have to be kept with these. That's an important part to keep in mind. Size is, different sizes are available. There are also cushions with cutouts to reduce pressure points, especially useful for the central buttock pressure sore due to it's the coccyx cushion, which is helpful for this. For ulcers in the center. Also, it relieves pressure on the spine and reduces pain. Different shapes and materials are available. One can try out or choose between them. Some of them are less expensive than others. Roho and gel cushions, these are quite expensive because they come imported. But yeah, they can be used if they do last a long time, and they definitely provide margin of safety. They are multi-cell air cushion, which do give a lot of relief. Changing position in any way possible, including push-ups or otherwise, it helps in reducing the chances of pressure sores. So various ways, one can devise your own way to change pressures or pressure points. And improvements in wheelchairs keep coming. So there are reclining chairs which one can use. There are also chairs that stand. I think a recent one is available in India, made through, I think, the design of IIT Chennai. So it's available, I think, online. So one can think about that. And push-ups is a very important part of the routine. It should be made into a lifestyle thing. But yeah, once you get into your work, then sometimes we end up forgetting them. So, but if you have forgotten for more than 4 hours, change of position completely is absolutely important, like standing up or lying down, depending on what is available to you at that time. At least the surface of the cushion should be changed. Once you get to work, it just not only provides financial support and satisfaction, but it also expands your friend circle. And working away from home gives you an opportunity to change your seating and changing the pressure points. It also makes one feel independent and is a huge relief for one's mind. But even if your pressure sore has healed, don't be complacent. Follow the basics. It's absolutely must to continue with your push-ups and rehabilitation, including standing, walking. There is no cure for pressure sores without relieving pressure. So a lot of advertisements on the internet we come across that this is a cure for pressure sores, but without relieving pressure, there cannot be anything that is working. So that is a must, and one has to actually form a schedule, set a schedule for pressure relief. And at the same time, when we start working, don't get carried away, or sometimes we get carried away even while watching TV. So even that should be avoided. We should remember always about possibility of pressure sore, and especially those who don't have sensations at all, they must remember it all the time. Take precautions. Don't forget cushions, crutches, calipers, or wheelchair while traveling. This is a very important thing because I have done it myself many times, so I know how it affects you. These are some calluses due to friction which can develop, but in spinal cord injured, they develop commonly at the caliper pressure points. So when you are doing actually making a new caliper, then one has to watch for the redness once the caliper is delivered. After a few days, again you check for if any new redness points have come even after the correction. And after a few weeks or months, whether any calluses are developing. If we neglect, then it ends up causing another pressure injury. Injuries on wheelchair are common in the initial period when we are not used to wheelchairs. Operating automatic chairs directly is not recommended. It's better to get used to a wheelchair, a manual wheelchair first. One has to learn to take care of feet in the front. Generally, the bumper should be longer in the front. One has to take care of hands in the sides, especially through narrow doors. Then also take care of for your feet getting into the wheels by using this kind of loops for the feet, or a band as shown in the right lower chair. Then there is an anti-tipping device at the back to prevent from tipping the chair back and injuring your head. So automatic wheelchairs are addicting. Yeah, one can notice that the angle, this is the right angle at which one sits on the wheelchair if one is not working, like in a relaxing position. This is the angle one has to adjust. You can adjust the cushion according to this. And wheelchairs, automatic wheelchairs can be addicting. They allow you movement everywhere. If access is there, of course, which is, as already mentioned, not so easy in our city. But it can lead to development of an attitude of I don't walk on earth. But we must remember that it's walking is an important part of our rehabilitation, and it keeps our heart and other organs going, that otherwise they tend to create problems later in later life. So keep moving, change position frequently, stand or walk daily. Thank you, and go for the stars, but step by step. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cooper. With you, in step with us, we will definitely go for stars. Moon tak to pahunch gaye hain, as Ketna just said, Chandrayaan we have already reached. So stars is not very far away with you and Dr. Taral with us. So we will definitely reach there. Thank you so much for such detailed and most important tips that really go in the most critical concern for all of us, which is the pet source. So we would definitely keep in mind, take note, and be more careful in these matters. and they will really help many of us. Thank you so much, Dr. Kothkar. And it is said, save the best for the last. And our last speaker on the panel is our own Sunita, a go-to person for all of us. Sunita Sancheti, everyone knows. And well, she wears many hats. Her slide of achievements, as you can see, is full. So uh, can you just increase the slide, Onrila? I'm not able to read it.
Ninu, as you just mentioned that everybody knows me, so I think it's okay if you don't introduce me.
Okay, so Sunita has her own journey, her own story to tell us, and it is very aptly titled Transforming My Life. And I think we are all learning from each other's life stories and how some of us have really transformed them from the challenges that we faced. So, Sunita, without much delay, everyone, please help me welcome Sunita and to share her story. So over to you, Sunita.
Thank you, Ninu. Firstly, I would like to thank all the speakers. All were fantastic. And now I'm thinking, okay, what do I speak? Because everything is spoken. But I'm just talking about my journey and how I got connected to Nina Foundation and how I have learned so much. And today again was a learning process. It has been 36 years of spine injury journey for me. It has been very interesting with high and low. Now, the thing is that many a times you are not aware only about what happens next in your life. Same happened with me. I was 16 and I had spine injury due to medical reasons. After my spine injury, when I returned home, my parents were worried कि अब एक बार urine bag निकाल दिया, she has no control on her urine, on her bowel. How will we manage? आगे क्या होगा? एक तो मैं रहती थी सेकंड फ्लोर पे जहां स्टेप्स थे, नो एलिवेटर, तो दैट वाज आल्सो अ बिग चैलेंज. आफ्टर कमिंग होम, as we all face challenges, but the sad part was that none of the doctors who were treating me were aware or they could guide me कि अच्छा अब नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होगा, कि भाई आपको CIC करना है, आपको स्किन केयर के लिए ये करना है, बावल मैनेजमेंट कैसे करना है, कोई भी चीज का नॉलेज नहीं था. आई विश केतन नीना फाउंडेशन वाज देयर देन, बट सैडली इट वाज नॉट देयर. आई यूज्ड टू डू फिजियो एट होम. I had an active life. I could manage my routine with assistance of my family members. I was blessed that I had no skin issues, no UTI till then. But it was a life full of struggle. Through our family friends, we got to know about world-class rehab center, which is at Stoke Mandeville, National Spinal Injury Center. Once I went there, I realized that, okay, there is a different way of looking at rehabilitation. जब मैं सबसे पहले वहाँ के डॉक्टर से मिली, उन्होंने जब मेरे डैड ने बोला ये पेशेंट है आपका, तो उन्होंने कहा कि स्पाइन इंजरी है इसको, ये पेशेंट नहीं है, ये एक हमारी क्लाइंट है, हम लोग इसको सर्विस देंगे. थेरेपी इज अ सर्विस दैट दे गिव टू पर्सन्स विद स्पाइन इंजरी. तो वो सबसे बड़ा चेंज था मेरे लिए कि यहाँ पे कोई भी आपको पेशेंट करके रेफर नहीं कर रहा है, आपको एक आम इंसान की तरह फील होता है. तो जब मुझे वहां पे उन्होंने बताया कि अच्छा हम लोग आपको ट्रीट करेंगे, तो आपकी सबसे बड़ी इच्छा क्या है, आप यहाँ आए क्यों हो? तो मैंने बोला कि मुझे यहाँ पे आप लोगों से ये सीखना है कि मेरा रोज की जो लाइफ है वो मैं इंडिपेंडेंटली कैसे मैनेज करूं. तो दैट इज द आंसर दे वर लुकिंग फॉर. उनकी इच्छा यही थी कि मैं ये ना कहूं कि मुझे यहाँ से चल के वापस जाना है. उनका ये था कि जब एक स्पाइन इंजरी वाला ये समझ जाता है कि शायद अगर मेरी नर्व स्टार्ट होगी तो मैं चल पाऊंगी, वरना मुझे कुछ ना कुछ असिस्टेंस के लिए यूज करना पड़ेगा, whether it is a walker, whether it is a caliper, wheelchair or a stick. But it is very important to accept that, okay, this is a new journey with an equipment. उतना ही नहीं, वहां पे उन्होंने मुझे बहुत विगरस फिजियो कराया। वहां पे एक मॉड्यूलर किचन बना के रखा है उन्होंने। वो सिखाते हैं आपको कि कुछ कुछ डिशेस आप कैसे बना सको जिसमें कम से कम गैस का यूज हो, ताकि कभी कुछ जलने के और वो सब के इश्यूज ना हो। नॉट ओनली दैट, दे टीच यू कि आप आपके वेसल्स कैसे खुद क्लीन कर सको, क्योंकि अब्रॉड में ये बहुत रेयर होता है कि आपके पास हेल्प होती है ये सब कामों के लिए। और वो चाहते हैं कि जब आपको इंडिपेंडेंट होना है तो आपको ये सभी चीजों में इंडिपेंडेंट। जब मेरा आधा प्रोग्रेस हुआ तो उन्होंने मेरे को पूछा, अच्छा अब आगे आपका इनकम का सोर्स क्या होगा? तो मैं सोच में पड़ गई कि क्या बताऊं इनको, मेरा इनकम का सोर्स क्या होगा। मेरा तो एजुकेशन भी पूरा नहीं हुआ क्योंकि मैं कॉलेज वाज नॉट एक्सेसिबल। उन्होंने मुझे पूछा व्हाट आर यू गुड एट। उस बेसिस पे उन्होंने मेरे को बोला कि आप इस टाइप के ऑफिस में जाइए जो एक्सेसिबल होगा, कंप्यूटर डेस्क होगा, या फिर जहां पे आप अकाउंट्स का काम कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि मैंने एडमिशन तो ये सोच के ली थी कॉलेज में कि आफ्टर 12th में इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग करूंगी, बट वो हो नहीं पाएगा। अब ये मुझे ध्यान में आ गया था। तो आफ्टर माय रिहैबिलिटेशन, after learning all the activities of bathing by myself, doing CIC, dressing up by myself, I came to India with a dream of having an independent life. Not only with the physical activities, but even the financial independence. तो आज मैं जितने भी SCI है उनको ये कहना चाहूंगी कि आप फिजिकली इंडिपेंडेंट हो जाइए, साथ में ये भी सोचिए कि आप फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट कैसे होंगे। इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप हमेशा अपने पेरेंट्स पे, सिबलिंग्स पे, स्पाउस पे डिपेंडेंट ना होके एक सक्षम लाइफ जिए। आप कम कमाए, ज्यादा कमाए, दैट इज नॉट द मैटर, बट अर्न फॉर योरसेल्फ, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। जब मेरी वो जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई तो इट वॉज डिफिकल्ट टू फाइंड एन एक्सेसिबल ऑफिस। लकीली डैड के फ्रेंड है जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट थे, वहां पे मैंने जॉब स्टार्ट किया क्योंकि मैंने टैली का वोकेशनल कोर्स किया था। तो ये वापस बहुत जरूरी है कि हम दूसरे टाइप के वोकेशनल कोर्सेज करें जिससे हमारी लाइफ को एक नया रूप मिले। लकीली मुझे फ्रेंड्स मिले लाइक नीनू, विजय, नीलेश। हम सब ने स्टार्ट किया एक्सेसिबल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे काम कर, और यहीं से स्टार्ट हुई मेरी नीना फाउंडेशन की जर्नी। हम लोगों ने वहां पे जॉब फेयर ऑर्गेनाइज किया था विद हेल्प ऑफ नीना फाउंडेशन, और तभी मुझे केतना मेहता मिली। एंड दैट वाज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्ड बिटवीन केतना, नीनू, माई सेल्फ, मधु, ऑल जॉइंड इन। एंड वी रियलाइज्ड दैट देयर आर मेनी मोर इश्यूज। अभी जब कोविड में हम लोगों ने नरेटिव फॉर करेज के फोटो शूट्स किए, मुझे रूरल एरियाज के सभी जनों के इश्यूज समझ में आए। क्योंकि क्या होता है कि जब आप अर्बन सिटी में रहते हो, आपको सिर्फ उनके इश्यूज के बारे में पता होता है। अब हम जब राजश्री से सुनते हैं, भावना से जब सुनते हैं, मधु से ओपीडी की बातें करते हैं, तब पता चलता है कि कितने ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स है। तो मुझे लगता है कि रिहैब सेंटर होना बहुत जरूरी है। एंड अपने यहाँ पे अप्रोप्रिएट व्हीलचेयर का कॉन्सेप्ट भी नहीं है। बहुत जरूरी है कि हमारे यहाँ ट्रेनिंग हो कि किस टाइप की व्हीलचेयर आपके लिए सूटेबल हो, आपका हाइट, वेट, पोस्चर के हिसाब से। उससे आपको जो स्किन के इश्यूज होते हैं वो भी काफी कम होंगे। जो आपका ब्लैडर बावल का सिस्टम है वो भी काफी अच्छे से सेट होगा, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि आपको कैसे ट्रांसफर होना है, कैसे हर एक चीज करना है। तो रिहैब सेंटर इज की टू succeed and have a normalcy in your day-to-day life. और तरल जी, मेरे को आपकी वो जो आइडिया है कि each and every district and each and every area should have one rehab center, which at least gives you a basic help of understanding what is important. ताकि अगर किसी को स्पाइन इंजरी हो, क्योंकि बहुत सारे रीजंस है स्पाइन इंजरी के, तो अगर किसी को स्पाइन इंजरी हो तो उनको पता चले कि कहाँ क्या करना है, क्योंकि पीपल आर नॉट अवेयर. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट सच वेबिनार्स गेट सच feedback of people ki, okay, now this is spine injury and how do we move ahead in life. So thanks Nina Foundation for creating such good awareness about spinal injury, and together we will definitely create much and more awareness. Thank you.
थैंक यू सुनीता. आपने जो अपनी लाइफ जर्नी के थ्रू हमें बताया, अगेन यू टच्ड अपॉन वेरी डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स थ्रू योर लाइफ जर्नी, और हमें समझ में आया कि और कितना कुछ एक एक्सीडेंट के बाद और कितना कुछ challenges आते हैं, and how to overcome them with the help of the system and the family support, which is most important for all of us. और उसके ज़रिए सभी के एक सपोर्ट सिस्टम के ज़रिए एक इंसान की लाइफ ट्रांसफॉर्म हो सकती है. इट डजंट एंड देयर. एंड जैसे कि सारे स्पीकर्स ने जैसे बताया, डॉक्टर तरल ने, केतना ने, डॉक्टर उदय खोपकर, यूसुफ भाई, राजश्री, मधु, यू नो ऑल ऑफ देम, भावना, एक ज़रूरत है, जैसे डॉक्टर तरल ने चैट में बोला, एक हब, SCI हब. तो दैट्स अ वेरी एप्ट नेम जिसको हम कह सकते हैं रिहैब सेंटर को, कि एक हब हो जहाँ पे यू नो एक अंडर वन रूफ, जैसे एक मॉल होता है, आपको सभी कुछ मिल जाता है, फूड कोर्ट, मूवी थिएटर, शॉपिंग, यू नो यू गेट एवरीथिंग. सो दैट विल बी द मोस्ट आइडियल प्लेस आई थिंक. एंड वन पॉइंट आई वुड लाइक टू से, जैसे डॉक्टर तरल ने बताया कि इंजीनियर्स जो कार बनाते हैं, you know there is a gap between the engineers and the surgeons, the paramedics, and people like us, the end users, who you know meet accident, who are inside the car. तो वो एक cohesive एक प्लेटफॉर्म होना चाहिए जहाँ इंजीनियर्स who are designing, they are taking absolute safety measures, no doubt, there's no doubt about their intelligence, but I think kahin they being humans, कहीं ऐसी कोई पॉइंट ऑफ कोर्स उनको स्ट्राइक नहीं होगी जब ऐसा कुछ यू नो वारदात होती है. तो आई थिंक it is very important that if we can, as Dr. Taral suggested and Ketna said, you know, we get in touch with these people who are designing automobiles, because गाड़ी तो चल पड़ी, आप बैठ गए, खरीद ली, लेकिन अगर ऐसा कुछ हुआ उसके बाद क्या, या उस वक्त क्या. So that is, I think, again some gaps which I think Nina Foundation platform, we can definitely close these gaps and prevent accidents first of all from happening in the first place. And of course after that we have so many other rehab solutions and all experts on us. So thank you all of you, all the eminent panelists.
No, can I make a point? I actually want to bring to everyone's attention that recent NMC guidelines actually do not require a medical college to have physical medicine and rehabilitation department. So that's a major change from previous guidelines. And we are talking here of having rehabilitation centers everywhere, whereas our National Medical Commission has recently mandated that this subject is not necessary for undergraduate students, that is MBBS students. No? So what it means is that we are going to have doctors in future who are not sensitized to the concept of rehabilitation and physical medicine. So that is something unfortunate. And as an NGO working in this, and Dr. Taral, if he's still around, he's representing a very prominent and very age-old institution. So that from their institute and our foundation itself, we can write to the National Medical Commission that this is an important subject that should be a part of undergraduate medical education. and it should not be omitted. After taking a positive step, one should not take a retrogressive step of omitting this subject from requirement in medical college. So this actually, this is something which I can suggest, which we can do. Though how much impact it will have, we don't know, but at least we can write. That is our, I think, duty to point it out to them that these things are extremely important. Like, yeah, Dr. Taral is there, I think.
Yeah. So Uday, this is extremely important, So what mind doesn't know, eyes will not see. What is not taught, people will never realize. And we'll keep on producing doctors. So for example, a cardiologist who doesn't know about cardiac rehab, a respiratory physician who doesn't know about respiratory rehab, and we'll produce spine and orthopedic surgeon who don't know about spinal cord injury rehab, or a neurologist who doesn't know about stroke rehab. It is part and parcel of treatment, and it should be integrated, I think.
Yeah, they are probably knowing the medical aspects of it, but they are not sensitized to the need and whatever are the efforts needed for rehabilitation and to make a team to work. Because unless we have a physical medicine and rehabilitation department in every medical college, they are not going to learn this, that this is an important part of final rehabilitation of the patient.
Right.
This is a very
Thank you.
insightful, Ninu, I'll just take a minute. Uday, Dr. Uday Khopkar, this is a very insightful piece that you're giving in. And if you could send the notification, a copy of that, will you be able to locate that and send it? Because
sure, it is available on NMC website. Yeah, but yeah, I can send it in.
Yeah, please on the group you send it, because Dr. Chhabra needs to know about this. In the Spine 20, we are actually talking about a national spine care program in the health policy. And in the scientific committee also, we were not aware about India, and India is a presidentship, and G20 is happening now on the 9th, 10th and 11th. So it will be a very useful piece. And as you rightfully said, as part of Nina Foundation, we want both you and Dr. Taral to join hands to now guide us how to frame that letter so that we can. But I want to tell to everyone out there, this is a time when we need to do arm twisting, because for the elections, right from Mantralaya to the Election Commission office to everyone knows how to lay the red carpet for us and pick us up from our homes and take us for exercising a franchise. We, the spinal cord injured community, needs to come together as one, because we will keep on talking and how far we will keep on doing. We are small fledgling organizations and NGOs. We need to negotiate with the government, and we say, before the elections, include spinal cord injury and make it as a separate disability. And once that happens and we are in the health policy, whatever Taral and Uday you are seeing in, and what the community is doing so fearlessly and passionately together, I think now's the time to show our strength. Please, let's do this.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. All points noted, and we all geared up for action from all that was discussed today and brought to the table. So thank you on behalf of Nina Foundation to our eminent panelists, Dr. Taral, Dr. Uday Khopkar, Professor Ketna Mehta, Sunita, Bhavna, Rajshri, Anu, Madhu, Yusufbhai, and most importantly, Oindrila, for being our backbone, for putting this whole framework together. Thank you so much. And thanks to Dr. Chhabra once again and his team at Shri Balaji Action Medical Institute for inviting us to be part of this awareness program. And lastly, our sincere thanks to all of you out there who have spared your precious time on a Sunday, who are listening to us, who have logged in, listening to our speakers and showing us support for the most important aspect of human life, Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely
1
Sunday
minute.
evening.
Ninu, we should have a group photo before.
Yeah, when we get ready.
We should have a group
Yeah.
photo. Yeah, somebody can click
Andrila,
screen.
We need to see you.
Andrila, we want to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, can someone
Yeah.
snip, use
Yeah,
a snip
Andrila's
tool
doing
and
it. She's clicking it. Yeah.
Smile. Yeah.
Kindly move so the Nina Foundation logo can be seen.
Done?
Yeah, done.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely Sunday evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we continue joining hands. So this is not the last time. This is for Taral and Uday. Thank you.
is it still recording?
Yeah, I'll stop the recording.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Stop streaming also, just 2 minutes. Stop live.